The difficulty of technicals.
I don't
Ain't
even
that a
know why the
motherfucker?
fucking computer was just like, oh hey, you know that shit that you do when you like usually log on.
Yeah.
That's not happening today, buddy. No pins working for you. No.
And
pin.
so-
I know we've done it like 500 times in a row, but not today.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Dude, I'm not gonna be able to see much of the chat. Well, maybe I can still see the chat. I don't know. I'm running off my iPad today. I'm running off my fucking Razer Motorola today, dude. So
Oh,
gonna be fucking.
I'll put some stuff up. I'll see what I can do with what I can do about that.
Dude. I just feel like Britney Spears in a club, dude. That's what I feel like right now. I feel like Britney Spears.
Why'd you get slapped?
My computer just slapped the fuck out of me with this one, dude.
Maybe you
This
should.
sucks.
Maybe you shouldn't slap it, dude. Maybe you shouldn't push it so hard.
Maybe you shouldn't.
And what is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night, and you're here with the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I am here with a new special friend today. We got Chewy, which is the prettier half of the Chewy and New Podcast, joining us today. Chew, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. Of course, we got Triggs on the seat. What's going on, Triggs? How's it going?
Good, man. Stressful week. Long week, dude.
My week just fucking stressed me out right now, dude.
You're
My
right, dude.
computer
Just
got
kicked
shit
you
on.
straight in the nuts.
Yeah, dude, my computer was just like, hey, you know what? You know that podcast you do every week? And
Fuck
you
your
know how you have me
podcast.
on all the time? It's like fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Fuck working. Fuck everything. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That shit happens all the time on our podcast too, and I'm starting to take it personally because I haven't been on your show before, and like the one fucking time I've been invited, guess what? Your computer
It just gets shit on, dude.
Yeah,
just straight up gets shit on the intro.
I'm fucking starting to take it personally now, guys.
Yeah, don't even worry.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is the way I'm probably gonna fix my computer is I have a 2008 pickaxe, which will probably work very, very well for fixing all the technology in, and just fucking put it right through it, dude. Just total decimation, total fucking decimation.
There's gonna be so many updates on that shit, dude. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, dude, pickaxe time, dude. But yeah, like I said, Chewy, welcome to the show, man. You guys run a podcast called Chewy New Podcast. Right. I was on it last week and I had a great fucking time. You guys are awesome. We got our fourth killer in the room. We got our fucking man, the myth, the legend. You love him, you hate him, you love to hate him. Brian Davis from New Jersey. What's up, Brian B?
Jersey.
From Jersey. He's coming in. Hoping he doesn't have any fucking technical issues like I did, man. I literally, no computer. I'm running shit off of my podcast or off of my iPad today. Triggs is probably going to have to be the man that's checking out the comments. The comment section, man.
Yeah, we got David Garcia 2008 shit, Office Space style.
Yeah, dude. I do not understand why computers nowadays, like, who the fuck cares about Hotmail anymore? Like, who the fuck cares about Hotmail? Like, if you're still using Hotmail, your wife left you, dude. Like, straight up. I don't even know what to say. Brian, how you doing, man? You can hear us?
I can hear you. You're loud as fuck, though.
Yeah, I cannot control this. I am on a Yeti microphone. Fucking slacking, bro. I'm on my iPad today. My computer shit on me. Really, really bad. So let me see if I can get this going. But you guys check it out. Go ahead and talk amongst each other. Let me see if I can get this shit going.
All right. So what are we talking about?
Just introducing everybody, man. How was your week, bro? You look like you're kind of fucking like tired, bro.
No, I'm good. Hold on one second. Second.
How do I sound now, guys? Am I okay? Am I not too loud? Chewy, how do I sound on your end?
I think everyone's loud.
To be fair, I can adjust it like your like everyone's audio independently, so like it doesn't matter for me. Like I could like if you're too loud, I'll just lower you.
Yeah, but recording is gonna be loud as shit, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably a little rough. Chewy, man. So you guys, like I said, are from the Chewy New podcast. Shout out to you. Good to hear from you guys. I'm really gracious you guys had me on the show last week. Tell us more about yourself, man. Tell us more about what you guys do on your podcast and how you guys handle things on your end.
Chewy, can you hear us,
Chewy,
brother?
can you hear me?
Oh no. Looks like everybody's having some technical difficulties this week.
Man, dude, I am telling you, man. Chewy, can you hear us, dude?
Dude, this is almost as bad as when we had Josh on that one time.
Oh, dude, or even Carlos, man. Remember we had Carlos Ferro?
That one wasn't that bad.
Remember I had my shit was killing, man. It was dead all over. Let me go ahead and text him real quick. Chewy, can you hear us? Let me see.
I think he's just
Chewy,
frozen.
check your phone.
I think he's just frozen.
No,
like
he's bumping.
Well, on my screen, he's
maybe, dude.
He's lagging heavy.
He's joking. Good. Let's see. Private. Okay. No, he can't hear us right now. Let me tell him to hop out and come back in. I don't know what it is, man. Last week too, when I was on their show, StreamYard was having a lot of fucking issues. StreamYard's the program that we use to get on this to host our program and stuff like that. So it's been kind of weird. But guys, as a matter of fact, when we get Chewy back on the show, let's go ahead and Triggs, how was your week, man? Break it down.
It was pretty long. I actually put in my 2 weeks this week.
What happened?
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, dude, what are you talking about? I've had this job for over a year.
Shit.
No, but I put in my 2 weeks, man. It's just a little bit too expensive up here, and I'm not making enough. So I'm gonna be going back home, and I will be, finding some. I got some opportunities going on over there, and you'll be seeing me pretty soon. Next few weeks, I'll be back in the valley. No, JD, we have not hit Superman yet. I don't know how you're saying.
No, we haven't hit Superman. You'll get your opportunity. Well, dude, he just shits on Superman in general, like over and over again. He hates Superman, which I don't know why, dude. Why do you hate the Golden Boy, man?
Yo, we're live.
We've been live.
Yeah,
bro.
We're live, dude. Yeah, we've been live ever since you've been on. I'm telling you, dude, it's a weird day today. Here we go. We got Chewy right back on. All right, welcome back. Chewy, can you hear us, man?
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Chewy, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can. There you are.
Can you hear me?
Like I said, guys, welcome back to... Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you pretty good. So, like I said, this is Chewy from the better half, the prettier half of Chewy and You, the podcast.
I hope that's the last
Chewy, break it down, man. What do you guys got for your podcast, brother? Chewy, can you hear me?
All right.
Dude, this is all over the place today, dude. Chewy, can you hear it? Nah, I think Chewy's thing is messed up. I don't know what's going on with streaming.
It might be his internet, man. Granted, I can't say for it, but it very well may be his internet at the moment.
Let me see. He's talking, but you can't hear him either. Okay, let me text him real quick. Let him know. We might have to bring him on again next time.
Yeah.
Let me see. Still can't hear you, brother. Really laggy. Brian, what about you, man? How was your week, dude?
It was cool. Short week. 4th of July was on Tuesday, so
yes, it was.
Had some fun on that. Hung out with some friends, families, my daughter. Just some really good personal time. which was overly needed. So
Over-needed.
other than that, yeah, man. I mean, other than that, I really don't have much to write home about, man. It was worked Wednesday, Thursday, short day today. Nothing much. Everybody in the comments, what's up? Vince, John, Rob, of course. Everybody, what's going on?
Let me see. Balder's gonna hit me up right now. 4th of July weekend was pretty cool for me too. It was very relaxed, very chill. We had the gym, of course, but we didn't have it. Yeah, we didn't really get to train that day for the 4th of July. We closed at the gym, let everybody have their day off, and went right back to it the next day. Went right back to sparring and stuff like that. I just got a message from Baldy, from Chewy. He says, yeah, it keeps cutting him out. I think we're gonna have to find out a better way for him to come out. Chewy, are you there, man? Can you hear me? Look, he just got back on the thing. You still can't hear me, dude? I mean, he looks solid though. He looks like he's moving around pretty good. Is he lagging for you guys still?
Oh yeah, heavy.
Yeah,
very bad.
All right. Let me see if he's got if he's on Can you get to computer or laptop?
So
I'm actually surprised that my fucking iPad's running this.
Did you guys do anything for 4th of July at all?
Drank.
Drank.
I'm a figure Trigger's gonna drink. For me it was.
I'm a veteran, dude. Fuck else am I gonna do?
Yeah. For me it was one of those things. I just kicked back at the house, man. I watched some stuff online. There was they had a lot of people that were out there trying to be like, let me post up the fireworks and all that stuff, but it was very weird. Like it's a really awkward situation because I noticed that there was a lot of people not really out there this year. Did you guys notice that?
No, there was a lot of people out where
or was it different for you guys?
Yeah, no,
okay.
dude.
Well, no,
like,
good, man. I mean,
do they have like a whole fucking parade?
When you say out, what do you mean? Where did you go?
Yeah, because here in the valley or here in the McAllen area, it's usually like they have Bicentennial, which is the road that cuts right through the center of the city, kind of. It has a small little parade, and then of course like the city has fireworks and stuff like that. But a lot of people said like that the fireworks went like half and then it quit, and then a lot of people are leaving, and then the second half the fireworks started. So they might have had what we got with some technical difficulties on the fireworks display. But usually they do a pretty badass fireworks display during the ending of the year. So, or during the 4th of July, and of course the New Year's resolution kind of shit. So, yeah, it was nice, man. Of course, like everybody in the radio stations and all that stuff. Yeah, that like for the New Year's they do fireworks display for the New Year's New Year's Eve going into New Year's. Yeah. They do like a valley kind of celebration, and then like in the McAllen area, I mean, you guys in Jersey probably got. Well, I mean, way more dense population, so it's probably harder for you guys to get around the city when all that shit's going off. But do you guys have like multiple areas that are doing like fireworks stuff, or is it like a main place that you guys all congregate?
It's not that dense, and I don't live in the city, so it's pretty much spread out. Yeah, man, there's multiple things. There's multiple places to go. Everywhere you went, it was fireworks. There was gatherings. So yeah, man, it was pretty cool out here, man. I really don't celebrate the 4th of July for my own personal reasons, but it was pretty cool.
Good shit. Yeah, for me, pretty much same shit. Like I just stayed at home. Like I didn't really go out. I didn't really congregate too much. I kind of just isolated myself. Been doing, of course, sticking to some projects that I've been kind of messing with and stuff like that. So just keep myself busy.
Yeah,
I've been noticing myself as a person becoming a little bit more. I guess I don't know if it's because I'm more like isolated, but a little bit more like bummed out. Because I kind of wish there was stuff going on that I could do. And the con scene, like, it's all right, man, but it's kind of getting like overdone since there's so many at times. I don't know if it's like that in your guys' area, but like there's just constant people doing shows, and it's kind of like, geez, dude, like I kind of wish there was something a little bit more fun in the valley to do. Like, I guess that's my biggest thing is I just wish there was something we could do. Like maybe the city would like put money into creating an area that if you like to be outdoors, to do more cool outdoorsy shit, or even like a bigger, better trail or something like that. I don't know, man, because everything's just so flat. I guess
trail. It's like 110 degrees out there. Are you gonna walk a fucking trail in 110 degrees?
I mean, in the evening or really early in the morning. Yeah. I mean, of course, not in the fucking midday or whatever. But, you know, you'll do some shit.
Bro, what I'm just hearing is that you're bored.
You're not gonna be in no damn trail. Shut up.
Yeah, well, all I'm hearing past the whininess is just you're bored.
Trail. Yo, let me ask you a
pretty
question.
much. It's boring.
Let me ask you a question.
You're bored.
These shows that you go to, do they pay you, or they just like want you to come and just come support?
It's pretty much just come support.
Okay.
They'll give us a table so that we get our opportunities to be vendors and try to make our own money. But like even with that, like the concept of it is you have to have something. Yeah, look, David even says it right there, man. Like 7 shows in one day.
That's a lot.
For a small area like we live in, it's a fuckload.
Oh, you know what I just saw today? WWE is coming to your area, bro. I know Rob's excited about that.
I saw that today too.
So my boy D wrote something about that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm not really. I mean, I think I told you this before. Like, I'm not really too crazy into wrestling, but I know the community that I'm in. There's a lot of fans down here, man. Those shows usually sell out pretty damn well. So I know the people that are in my area are going to be really, really excited to have it. I know Rob's going to be there. I know D's going to be there, man. I know these boys are going to be all up in that. So I'm happy for them to be getting something like that here in the Valley because it's kind of been uncommon to have shows like that where it's like physical stuff. I know we have a big boxing match coming up in Edinburgh in a couple of months that we're going to have. Well, actually in a couple of weeks that we're going to have here at the Bird Ogden Arena, which is the one that's here in Edinburgh. So that'll be cool to get some like physical fights back and getting some people out in the crowds and stuff. So that's really, really fucking cool. But yeah, as physical as Britney Spears has been, it's really nice to see people out there doing some good stuff. So for anybody out there that's been now at it, happy 4th of July. As a matter of fact, shout out to our boy Vince, who's in the comic section. Me, my friend Christella, my friend Alex, we all got to meet up, and Vince met up with us. And he's like, "Hey, man, I got you something, and I got to show you this fucking gift, bro." So he got me the greatest movie ever, dude. Brian, it's your fucking favorite movie. But it gets even better than that because on the reverse side of this movie, it says The Legend of Chris Lee, and it's got my face on Chung Lee's face. I thought it was the best shit I've ever gotten in my whole life. This is so fucking cool. And of course it comes with, the DVD and stuff. So shout out to Vince. That's a really funny gift and a really fun gift. It was cool. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was the coolest thing, but thank you, man. Really, really appreciate it. Probably one of those movies that I'm going to have to stream one day with you guys in the Discord. Yeah, I fucking loved it. Thank you, Vince. That was super funny, man. I appreciate it. Boys, being that we're having some technical difficulties, kind of sucks. I really wanted our boy Baldy on here. Chewy, I'd really like to hit him up again. Let me see if I could. You think I should give it a try again?
No.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, Chewy.
And not me being like a prick or anything like that. Just like, no, because he's going to get on. And he's going to have the exact same like difficulties, unfortunately, and it's just going to hamper.
Yeah, hold on. Let me message him. I don't think it's going to work, man. I think a laptop or something. I think it's like his area, right? I think.
I don't know where he lives.
Might be the. Getting bad reception.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, I mean, if he's getting bad reception, then yeah, it's, and especially if he doesn't have Wi-Fi wherever he is,
Mark,
it won't make a difference.
Yo, Mark is the actual second part to Chewy and Nude podcast. We tried to bring on Chewy, but the internet wasn't working with him, and it kept cutting him off really, really bad, and then he was getting some bad lag. We don't know what else to do, man. Next time it'll probably have to be like maybe we can actually have like Mark and Chewy at their studio, like come on to the show and join us while they're at their place because they have a really, really nice studio. I don't know if you guys were able to see the podcast that I was on with them. And maybe it's just the area that he lives in that he's not getting good reception. And I mean, we saw it. It was pretty bad. We couldn't even get audio from him. So yeah, Mark, let him know, man. Thank you for giving us a shout out for him and having him on the show. I really love that. We almost had it, man.
So Cristela Rodriguez is saying that you sound like a cartoon character, and your video is delayed.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Your voice sounds like a cartoon character. Yeah, I really don't have any control of it right now. I'm actually on my iPad because my computer messed up. So I'm gonna have to do with what I got right now, guys. And yeah, we're gonna make this shit work, man. So we got a show to have, and we're gonna get it done. So thank you. I'm extra. That's what it is. Myers just says I'm extra whiny today. That's why I sound like a cartoon character. I'm extra fucking whiny.
Yeah, I told you, dude.
But yeah, boys, man. So yeah, let's get with it. Let's see what's going on. It sounds like I'm high on helium. Is that what it sounds like? How do I sound to you guys though? Like, do I sound pretty normal? Do I still sound?
You could do with a little bit of EQ.
Well,
yeah. But so could I. To be honest, I haven't EQ'd my stuff since I moved here. So I was kind of just like,
hard, man. I really can't EQ much because I'm only dealing with well, Blade says he's gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna tell him it should be the same link, so it should be the same.
Yeah, man. If he can get on, you know, fucking amazing.
Yeah, man. I would love to have him on. I would love to have him on, man. Yeah, man. So how was your guys? What else did we got for internet news for this week? I know we wanted to talk about FNAF last week. I know we didn't really get a chance last week because they dropped the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know if you guys have ever really been. I think Brian, we talked about this a while back on the podcast. You've heard about this from just people around you that have been fans or play the game themselves, but you yourself, not really all about it. But when you saw the trailer, did any of that interest you, man?
Not really. It wasn't anything. It's not something that I'm gonna be into it, but I do appreciate it for the fact that you're into it. So I mean, what about you? I don't know why you would ask me, but I'm gonna put the question about you. You're the one that's a big fan.
Yeah, man, we're just gonna let you take the.
This is your time to shine. Yeah, this is your time to shine, bro.
Yeah, this is your dune right now. This is your dune right now. You go right ahead and run with it.
I'm actually really, really excited for this. The Five Nights at Freddy's franchise is very similar to the stages of the way Treyarch. It's Metal Gear Solid all over again. Yeah, it is. Am I gonna buy it? Definitely, I'm gonna get fucking Five Nights at Freddy's for sure. I'm gonna buy that bitch. It had its infancy stages the same way Treyarch Zombies did, which to me is probably one of the greatest Black Ops Zombies video game style franchises that ever went, which was a video game that started off based on a Newgrounds Flash game. Newgrounds used to be this old school website that a bunch of old school G gamers used to get on, play a bunch of Flash style games on the browser. You play them at school or you play them at home and whatnot. And I mean, Newgrounds is still around. It was really cool, and there was, no, I know it is. Balde, we got him in the Chewy. We got Chewy here. Let's try it one more time.
One more time.
Can you hear us, buddy?
Fucking gone. Fucking gone, dude. Kaiser Sosa, dude.
Whoa, fucking the StreamYard was like, fuck that. Not today.
He came in just
boom,
like,
Metal Gear Solid shit.
Yeah. He was like, I don't like anything about what I'm hearing.
I'm gonna say that what is it, Five Nights at Freddy's? Man, I'm out of here, yo.
Yeah,
he was coming in. Yeah, StreamYard was like, fuck that. We ain't having that.
He was like, fuck Fridays, fuck Freddy's, fuck Five Nights, fuck all that shit. And if you like all three of them together, fuck you.
I don't know how you do it with a headset, man. You do a headset every week, right, Brian? You have your headset on every week?
Yeah.
YouTube tricks, man. I don't know how you do this, man. I like to do it without the headphones, man. But goddamn, my ears sweating, man. Like fucking Eminem, dude. Ears spaghetti. Ears are sweaty, or whatever he says in that goddamn song.
Well, I don't have leather cuffs on, so that's one thing. And
sorry, man. Can't all be fucking money, man. Goddamn. But straight up.
I mean, I can tell you how much my headphones are, you know.
No, I don't want to hear it. But straight up.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. But Brian's headphones look legit as fuck, dude. What kind of headphones do you got, man?
I don't know. These are like $20 at Best Buy, dude. I don't know.
That's all right.
I got like the cheapest ones, but they work great. I did some research before, and I found.
Yo, because I was about to say, I was like, dude, your logo. Like, I've only seen the side of your logo, and I was like, dude, if those are some Audio Technicas, those are some great headphones.
I think they might be.
Yeah, they look really good, man.
Yeah, they are. But they were
I
like
knew it. That's why I was like, dude, if those are Audio Technicas, those are amazing.
Yeah,
because
like
that was like the first mic that I used as a USB mic that like elevate. That's how I knew that I was becoming a podcaster. It was an Audio Technica mic that I was using for a long time. I still have that mic somewhere.
Yeah.
But that was like, it was that brand. It was like the AT 2020, and man, it was an amazing.
Yeah, I'm running Tascam, dude. Tascam headphones. I mean, they're pretty much all around the board. Tascams are pretty good, but yeah. Okay, so I talked to Chewy right now. He messaged me. He got on. It kicked him off. That was on his side. He said that the program itself didn't even allow him on. So I'm guessing his phone has some pretty bad technical issues. And I told him, hey, you know what? Then next time,
because my first name is also Mike. Mike.
Mike. We'll make sure we have Chewy. I want to say thank you, man. I apologize that we weren't able to get you on the show this week. Same thing to Mark. Sorry we couldn't get him on the show. I really wanted to, man. It just didn't work out. And then right now, dude, he's still running dial-up. Fucking knew it. Fucking knew it.
I'm still on that DSL shit, dude.
Not even to fuck around, dude. So what happened earlier was I was getting the room ready as normal time. We usually get the back room ready at like 8:20, 8:15. I got it all set up. But for some reason my camera was like flash working. Like it was, you know how I think you guys have seen me do this before where it'll start up and then it'll pause and then start up and then pause like in the show. So what I was like, all right, cool. Let me just reset my computer. And when I resetted my computer, it just told me that my pin, you know how like your Microsoft Office lets you do a pin to enter in your computer. It was just telling me this time, like, hey, dude, your pin is not available at this moment. And I was like, what the fuck? So it's like, okay, cool. Like, well, sign in through your Microsoft password, and my Microsoft password isn't even fucking working. So right now I am completely locked out of my home computer.
Damn.
That blows. So yeah, that's when I was like, oh shit. Like, and usually when I reset my computer, I don't have like a solid state drive on my computer. I think Triggs, you know this, right? Because you helped me work on my computer. So I don't have like it's almost like its own storage unit to start up. So, oh my God, usually not to point this out, glad to see you guys have Chris doing his chipmunk impression tonight. I can't fix that, dude. I don't know how to fix that.
This is going to be a good show today. We're going to have a good episode.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. I don't know how to fix that. And I really can't. StreamYard doesn't really give me a lot. Oh, maybe this. That's the echo cancellation. Does that work? Is that something? Do I sound normal? Dude, really? No way, dude.
No way. No way, dude.
No way. Is it really high?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, fuck. All right. Well, I can't do anything about it, guys. I'm fucking StreamYard's fucking eating my ass today. So again, I'm gonna message those. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna message StreamYard and be like, "Yo, this is what you guys do for people on a mobile shit." Because literally, actually, what I'm very, very surprised.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna email you back and they say, "Get a fucking PC."
They're gonna be like, "You pay." They're gonna be like, "You pay us already, bro. I don't give a fuck what."
In all caps, FOH.
Right?
Yeah, fuck out of here,
brokey.
But like, you know what? As a matter of fact, this isn't too bad of a setup. I literally just have my iPad Pro, and I got my Yeti microphone. My headset's connected to my headset, my microphone, and my iHome is this like a USB port that has multiple shit. Yeah, I'm getting
you guys are funny in the comments today, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on. You guys are on one today. I like it,
dude. Man, they on some today, dude.
Yeah, they're about this shit today.
I like this energy, man.
Hey, if I get it closer, does it sound a little bit better or no?
Yeah. Why don't you test it out by telling us rapping this Five Nights at Freddy stuff? Man.
Yeah. All right. So the cool thing about Five Nights at Freddy is it's been like I was saying, it was based on a video game it didn't have a backstory to begin with. No, it's the same shit, right? It's the same shit. So I'm just going to leave it where it was. I'm not going to carry that motherfucker. So overall, talking to the mic, baby. The video game itself was based. Dude, these guys are tearing me up, man. I'm gonna
dude,
go home
it was like me.
podcast.
Was it like a month ago where everyone was just ripping me apart?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and cry later, dude.
Oh, they are
dude. I'm telling you, man, that computer thing really fucked me up today. Nah, so Five Nights at Freddy's was based on a video game that didn't have a backstory, and what it was the community created the backstory with the creator. So I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if anybody understands this, but like, imagine you made just some kind of tic-tac-toe game, but you had put like an accidental like ink blotch in the corner, and people started to theorize different parts of the story, and that's kind of how the Treyarch zombie stories line started, and that's kind of like how Five Nights at Freddy's started. The first game that came out was just a game based on jump scares and all this other stuff, and to be able to see it fluctuate and come into this fruition of like, yo, now there's a full-fledged movie, there's like a whole book studio, there's 18 video games, there's VR games, there's a PlayStation 5 game. It started from just like JPEG pictures to actual three-dimensional modeling and Unreal. Like, that's huge on the type of success when it comes to someone who's a creator and stuff like that. So to see the actual trailer come out, to see like me, as a matter of fact, Michael Betancourt in the comment section had got me connected with a with a gentleman a while back, which we all worked with. We brought him on the show. Parker Plays, Parker Games. He was a Disney guy. He was part of the Parker Coppins. He was a Disney television. What was it, like a streaming service that he was a part of? Right, his show.
No, I think he was like a Disney,
something like that.
He was like on Disney or something,
like an actual show, right?
Yeah.
The kid was pretty good. He was a good kid, but yeah, his whole shtick was he played video games. And when we got together with him, I was brought on as a project because we wanted to make a very much like a Scare PewDiePie series based on different horror games in the video game aspect. So we had all this idea that was swinging the mic like Axl Rose. Fucking, oh man, that made me laugh. That was a little too much in my brain. We brought in all of these different variations of like, okay, we're gonna do a Five Nights at Freddy's variation. We're gonna do a Dead by Daylight version, a fucking Resident Evil, and we were all gonna have them correlate to each other in some way. Michael Betancourt had a really, really hard job to reach out to the guy who runs Five Nights at Freddy's, Hermit. It is so hard to get a hold of that guy, and plus, he doesn't allow anyone to be a part of his creation into the story since he started to elaborate more on it, because a lot of the story is very intricate and very woven into itself. So like even Michael Betancourt tells you, like we actually got the Gladys Porter Zoo, which is the zoo that's here in the Valley in Brownsville. Shout out to the Gladys Porter Zoo for that. They let us go in after hours and put on fucking Five Nights at Freddy's suits and film like a whole ass bunch of stuff with like all the animals being like, yo, is that a big fucking bear out there? Like, what the fuck is going? The animals, I mean, the whole entire situation was such a fucking cool thing. I even called in a friend of mine who was willing to fly a helicopter for the fucking film. Like, we had so many cool things that were going on with it. Something exciting to look forward to. It kind of all fell apart, which happens when it comes to big projects that are light on finance and money and stuff like that. And yeah, we all went our separate ways. But one of the people we got to work with was this kid named Atreyu. He runs a
like the Never-Ending Story?
Like the Never-Ending Story, but that's his real fucking name. Isn't that cool? His dad's creative as fuck.
Yeah.
Atreyu's a good name. That's a good name. But he runs his YouTube channel, and lo and behold, this kid's got like the fucking million views plaque because he's one of like the only people in the world that's created like award-winning Five Nights at Freddy's costumes. Like, I'm talking like if you look up Five Nights at Freddy's cosplay, he's the guy that pops up.
He's the one.
And this is like one. He is the fucking
he's
one.
The
I'm
guy.
not even lying.
He's the one.
He's
the guy.
He is the guy, and he's a good friend of ours. I love the kid, and right now with his passion, that kid was the one that introduced me more into the lure of Five Nights at Freddy's. He's the one that like introduced me to it and really got me involved. And now to see him with his success, that he is now working in some way with the Five Nights at Freddy's production team with the film and with side projects they're doing. I'm so happy for this kid, man. He was like 15 when he first started making his first costume and cosplay.
Nice.
And he's up there. And so like watching this all come to fruition and its path. I'm really happy that in some way I got to like have a little bit of sliver of being a part of that in a way. And now to see it all come to, dude, they got the dude from what's that guy's name? Matthew Lillard from fucking Scream, the guy that played Scooby Doo, the actor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They got him as the main villain, which is they call him the Purple Man. I forgot his name off the top of my head, but
William Afton.
He's William Afton, and he's just a serial killer. Like it's such a like when you look at it in the sense of what the story is, it's a good fucking horror story. Mm-hmm. It's a great fucking horror story. So like to see it all come together, I'm really excited because a lot of people think it's just like, oh, what the fuck do I care about animatronics jumping out and scaring kids? Because that's what we all feared, growing up when we would go to those places. But then to realize like the backstory is like there was a bunch of children that were murdered by this guy who used his suit to kill those kids and lure them, and then their souls are trapped in these characters, and they just kind of want to like have people join them. I'm really excited. I just don't know what they're gonna do with like. Do you remember they had that Nicolas Cage movie come out a while back where he was like fucking beating the shit out of like fucking animatronics, and he was like, I forgot what it's called, but it was a really funny movie too. It was a hilarious movie, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. The Five Nights at Freddy's stories deals with, and it sounds really weird. It deals with like people that are working as security guards in this place. They kill people, but everybody's just so nonchalant about like, oh well, be careful with those. With the Freddy one, he has a tendency of walking around and murdering people, and it's like, well, why the fuck do I want to work here? Like, why would I work in a place like this? But they kind of overlook that because it's a video game or whatever. I don't know how it sells to a live action. I don't know how it moves to live action and it makes sense. If that kind of like. If that makes sense of what I'm saying. It's a really hard sell. It's going to be a really, really hard sell because there's a part where, Wally's Wonderland. That was the one. It was funny as shit. Because there's a scene in the trailer where they bring in like a group of other guys, like adults that come in. And I guess that they were brought in to take out the animatronics. And then the animatronics start like isolating them and taking them out and doing this stuff. And it kind of the way Nicolas Cage's movie, Wally's Wonderland, did it, which that one didn't make a lot of sense when that was going on. Because again, if you, Brian, or you, Trigger, were in a situation that you knew animatronics that you were working with have a tendency to come to life and kill people, what would you do?
Not be there anymore?
Yeah. Or if it was like, oh, well, you have to be here, you're going to be like,
You're asking a black man what he would do in that situation.
You're gonna be like, I'm just gonna take a baseball bat to everything real quick. Like, I'm not gonna wait for that shit.
Not work there. I would just, I find a better place to work. I don't know. Health hazard.
And you see, like that those right there. That's just like common sense, right? Like, fuck, I'm not gonna work there. Like that sounds dangerous as shit. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then it has people where it's like, oh, the dude needs cash, and it's like, bro, like, come on, that's not a good sell. But I really need to pay my electric bill for fucking $7 or $15 an hour.
I think I would rather
so like that's the
strip club or something like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I feel is like, how are they gonna pull off making that make sense? You know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm scared of, which is like the fucking Death Note live action when they brought it to life. You were like, oh fuck, it didn't really work out too well, kind of things, because it just doesn't like correlate to real common sense shit. That's the only thing I worry about. But again, Five Nights at Freddy's trailer looked really, really great. It looked amazing. Good cast of people. I'm really, really excited at what they're going to do with it. I can't wait for it to come out. I know they're going to be doing a theatrical release and a Peacock release at the same time. So if you don't go to watch it in the theaters, you'll be able to watch it at home on Peacock, the application that a lot of people watch wrestling and all that good stuff. So really, really excited to check that out, man. I am super fucking hype. Triggs, again, I know you're not really big on a fan, but you and Brian, are you guys gonna try to go watch this shit or what?
I'll probably stream it.
That sounds like a hard pass, dude.
I'll probably stream it. Okay, let me. Like, honestly, I might get drunk and watch it, and then just be like, I'll see what the hype is. Okay. Because like past that, I've had a lot of people try and sell me on Five Nights, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, but like, where's the appeal?
Where's the appeal? I was about to ask you guys that too. Like, okay, so what is it about the Five Nights at Freddy's? I mean, from where it is right now, that it just doesn't seem like an interesting take on you guys. Like what? Like on the outside, you see it that it's coming to be like a horror fruition story. Like it's coming around to a really great thing. But like, what is it about it that you're kind of like, nah, I'm gonna pass on it?
I have Outlast.
Oh, Outlast is a good fucking. That's a good series. That's a good fucking series. Brian, what about you? I know it's not your forte, but what would it be?
I mean, honestly, that's just what it is. It's just not my thing. It's the animatronics. It
Okay.
sounds very kiddish, but not really. So I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Maybe I
But
just
again,
didn't grow
I'll
up with
definitely
it.
be checking it
That,
out.
like it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that sounds like again, it's not for me. But I am happy that it's for you. So I'm looking forward to you watching it and you coming in and talking about it. I'm surprised that we missed the opportunity to talk about it last week.
Yeah, I was kind of like when you mentioned it right off of the show last week, I was like, "Fuck, we could have even seen the trailer with everybody and stuff like that. That would have been pretty legit."
We still
right
can.
Now, like I said,
we still can. May as well, dude.
I can't.
Oh yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
an
You're
iPad.
right.
I'd have to let me fucking pull my phone out and be like, "Let's check it out together, folks. Let's fucking let's fucking here's the link. Here's the link. Everybody play it now." But yeah, I'm really excited to check it out. And when it comes out, I'll be giving a review, I hope, and getting you guys to go watch it too. Brian, by chance,
what's up?
did you get to go see Bloodhounds, man?
Bloodhounds,
the one that we talked about last week? No, not yet. So
negative.
Right. No, I just told my brother about it. My brother's supposed to check it out too, man. So, again, if you haven't seen Bloodhounds, totally fucking worth it. If you got to see Bloodhounds after we recommended it last week, put that bitch in the comment section. Let us know what you said. Let us know what you think. Review that shit if you saw it. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. Most definitely.
Yo, there's just so much shit on TV to watch, bro. Like,
yeah, there really is. Just like I'm not going to say that it's oversaturated, but like if you can't find something to watch, you either have way too much time on your hands or you're very indecisive.
Yeah, this is a lot.
That's me. That's me. I'm like, that's me. I'm always undecisive.
You know what I did watch though? You know what I did watch? Just sharp right, really quick. I watched that documentary on Netflix about the American Gladiators. You guys ever check that?
Dude, I was going to. It's like in like my list now, but I haven't gotten it yet.
You guys have to check that out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Just like learning how that show became that show, and just how fucking nuts and insane the producers and the actors / athletes and gladiators were. It's really, really wild. It's really wild. See, look, there's some people in the comments that have seen it. I would say it's kind of a must watch.
Okay.
I didn't even I didn't get to watch it, but I did see the little like pass by. And you get to see the screen and stuff, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude! A documentary on American Gladiators."
See, I saw that, and I immediately pressed play. Like I'm all in.
Okay, so yeah, that's what caught you real quick.
Documentaries like that, dude, I'm all in, man.
You're all about it.
I
should have checked that bitch out. But yeah, well, guys, you heard it here. Make sure you guys check that out. American Gladiators documentary. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fucking fantastic. Boys, what else do we got, man? Of course, we're going to be talking about Secret Invasion later. I know we had our friend Chewy on the show. That kind of fell through. I feel kind of bad about it. Like, deep down inside, I feel it real bad. I wanted to have him on the show. But,
sorry, man. We can bring him on next week.
Of course, we got some. Yeah, for sure. I'm really hoping that I get my now I got to get my fucking computer fixed, man.
I'll help you out.
That's stupid.
I'll help you out with that.
Yeah,
that's gonna suck,
man. God, man. This thing never happened to me, so I kind of feel like I got caught with my pants down, but it's okay. The only other thing that I saw this past week, of course, we talked about last week. We talked about what was it, San Diego Comic-Con not having a bunch of people show up on Hall H. We had this past week, very interesting. James Gunn and the people from DC ended up making the announcement that they're not going to be there also. So with that, we had what's that guy's name from Shang-Chi, the actor?
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu was approached online on Twitter, and they asked him, "Hey man, so what's going on with Shang-Chi 2?" And he made a comment that said, "Hey, well, you know what? It looks like our show is being pushed to 2027 because our movie has to come out after the Avengers movie." which I'm guessing is Avengers Kang Dynasty. So whatever happens in Kang Dynasty is going to go right into what happens with the Wreckage of
And Shang-Chi.
Time, I believe the show's called. Yeah, Shang-Chi 2, The Wreckage of Time. So, hey, is that you? Oh yeah, actually we have the other half of Chewy and Ooh that's jumping
What is
in with
going
us
on,
right
guys?
now.
What's going on, man?
Yo,
I am
what
so
is
happy
up,
to get that
Ooh?
ugly
What's up,
rookie in
man?
here. I'm sorry for the misconception.
You talking about Chewy, man? Leave him alone. He's a good cat, dude. Guys, this is the opposite half of the Chewy and Ooh podcast. This is Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. I'm sorry we couldn't get Chewy's stuff working.
Coming in for the save every single time.
But it's good to have one of you guys. Yeah, you gotta save the Chewy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we had him on the show, we were gonna ask him some simple stuff, simple cool stuff. Like I said, you had me on your show last week. I really appreciate it. I had a great fucking time with you guys.
Good episode.
Super
Good
fun.
episode.
Man.
Check it out.
My boy Brian right here, man. This
yeah. Wait, listen. Time out. I know we're about to give the floor to you, but before Mike, because Mike is always in and out. Before Mike leaves, Michael Betancourt, I want to ask you a very specific question, sir. There was a movie that came out that we were talking about that I was just poking at you.
I want
to know, sir, did you get a chance to check out Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? That's all I want to say. Now I want to hand it back to you. I want to see in the comments if you saw that movie. Yo. That's what I want to know first.
That's
and then
true.
We'll have a conversation. We'll have a conversation later, sir. But go ahead.
So Michael Betancourt, you got to make sure you leave a good comment about it because I know you said actually from what I heard for the Indiana Jones movie, the first half is really well put together. Like, it actually feels like a great Indiana film. So then, of course, like, towards the ending, it kind of loses its flavor and funk. So,
and then it doesn't.
Yeah, and then, what do you mean? Did you hear that it ended up real good or what?
Yeah.
Or that it just ends really well?
Yeah, or it just sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I heard too. But, of course, Michael Betancourt, a huge fan of the old school, you know, he was really, he even said it himself that he goes, I don't care if the movie is good or bad. I'm going to buy a ticket because I'm going to support this shit either way. Sinking with the ship. He's like the dude on the Titanic with the fucking...
he did see
with the orchestra on the top of the boat. Like, he's going down with that bitch hardcore. So, Michael Betancourt says, I saw it. It is one of an amazing half of a movie, and then they missed the beat in the end. But I got what I wanted. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So not worth the watch. Rate it, boy. I want to see a rating, 1 to 10. I don't have high expectations for this movie from the comic menu. Thank you for the comic menu. And everybody else that's jumping in from Twitch, we appreciate you guys. I don't speak Russian or whatever, but you guys are probably saying great show. That's what I'm going to guess. I'm going to fucking hope they're saying that shit. These guys,
better than Joe Rogan.
Yeah, better than Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah, better than Joe Rogan.
Okay,
I'm sure that's what they're saying.
Tell us about yourself. Tell us about, of course, Chewy, since he's not here, and then tell us what you guys do on your guys' podcast, man.
Well, basically what we do with Chewy New Podcast. So thanks for having us on, or having me on at least. Well, we basically, like I told you before on the other episode we were on, we interview local talent, podcasts just like you guys, man. We pretty much have an open door policy to give everybody an opportunity to speak. You know, that's what the podcast is all about. And I enjoy watching you guys. You guys are fun to watch, man. I mean,
thank you, brother. Thank you.
I can't stop raving about you.
I'll be on your podcast.
Hey, I'll be on it.
I'll bring you on when you want.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. If there's an actual invitation, yeah, man, I'll take you up.
Oh, don't worry.
Trig's got a bus ride down here first, man.
It's all good, dude, man. So, like, not at all to put a damper on the conversation. My grandma died, so I'm going to be there Thursday, Friday.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
We'll see you next week, then. No, I'm just joking.
Fucking, oh my God, that's crazy as shit. What the? Welcome to the Uncasual Show, dude.
Right, dude?
That was fucking wild.
The average boy's not being very average this week.
No, time out. You said not to put a damper on anything.
That's like
Jesus Christ.
It's like roller coaster.
Jesus Christ.
Loop, man, right there.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm sorry, Triggs. No, seriously, all with all all seriousness,
dude.
my condolences to you and your family.
Condolences.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she like not at all to like take the steam or the wind out of his sails, but
I don't wanna take the
she
piss out
did
of
pass
nobody.
last night, and yeah, so I am gonna be down next Thursday, Friday, and I hope to make the show on Friday on my drive back up. You know, but we'll see how things go.
If you can't make it, it's totally understandable. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking hold you to it like that. Apologies to you and your family, and condolences and stuff.
Yeah, man. All prayers to you, man. You and your family, bro.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Chew or Ooey. What do you go like? Ooey? Dude, I used to think when I would read it.
This is one of our better shows, man.
Easily.
This is one of our better shows.
And started off as a fucking train wreck, dude. Started off as a train wreck.
You came on a good day.
Started off just fucking.
Dude, this is gonna go onto the saved episodes on my Spotify.
I don't know. I'm looking at the screen. I feel like I'm part of the Brady Bunch right now, man.
Yeah, dude. I was
fucking
say,
lovely,
like,
dude.
I've always like had a hard on for wanting to have like a 10-person show.
Hey, yo,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know how that's gonna ever fucking keep pushing.
Wow. She guessed like she guessed like this. Right?
What's good, dude?
Front of us, we're good. We're fine with that. I don't know.
No,
but tell us about your guys' podcast. Tell us about what you guys do, how long you've been around, and all that good stuff.
We've been up and running for about at least 4 years already. It's been a great ride. I'm hoping we stick around another 4, another 5, or another 10. It's been great, man. Meeting a lot of new people that come on the podcast. It's fun, man, because it's like I said before, we're there as an open door for anybody who wants to talk about themselves. Not really like the nitty-gritty questions like why, what were you thinking? We want to know who the real person is, and that's what it's all about, man. You want to get to know the person, and lucky for us, we didn't really go into Metal Gear that night. It would have been like 3 years, 3 years or 3 hours.
Dude, no, deep dive, dude.
And Brian would have
deep dive.
But are you gonna buy it? So
I would have X'd out of that episode so quick, bro.
Yeah, and the whole
Brian would have been like, "Yo, I gotta take off. I gotta do like knitting,
something
or
else, literally anything else.
Something else twice as boring, dude.
Paint chips, something like that.
Yeah, just some fucking real random shit.
And the whole concept of the show, the Chew and New podcast, the way the names came about, I had never met a Bade ever in my life. We only talked a lot on Xbox Live, so I never knew him personally. But in an incident where I had to go pick him up from the great city of McAllen, PD.
Nice. Yes.
And, I had never met the guy before, and I stroll up and I look at him like, damn.
Got the car.
I'm like, damn. I never knew they piled. I never knew they piled shit that high, man. Damn, Chewbacca. He goes, shut up, and he walks, give me a ride home. So that's how we came up with Chew and New. So that's basically he's the Chewbacca. I'm the little short Ewok. So that's how the show started out, man. But other than that,
good
man,
shit. That's a good way to do it.
It's been a great ride with him, man, and we're gonna continue doing what we're doing, and you guys, like I said, I love you guys' podcasts. I love watching podcasts that do creative stuff like you guys do, man. It inspires me more.
Thanks, man.
To make my podcast similar or something close to what you guys have, man, and it's great, man. I love the conversations y'all have. As I was telling Chris,
the creative rise, man.
I can sit here watching you guys for an hour, and by the time I know I'm 3 hours in, I'm like, where the hell did the time go? But it's because the conversation is so great.
I'd like to think that our conversation is very fluid, very organic.
Yeah.
That's one way to
it's very fun. It's very chill, man. Yeah. And you know what? It's real crazy, man, because when we first started off, I had another guy, John Man. I had John Man on the show. And after John Man left, I had Triggs come into the show. And Triggs was very familiar with the way Fred Word, which was our boy from RGV Titan Radio, with the way he wanted to isolate the show, make it an hour, be very he wanted to pre-record, he wanted to do all this stuff, and Triggs was there with me, and so was Brian, right on the cusp of it also, of me wanting to do like more interactive entertainment with the crowd and get the comment sections more in, trying to just get everybody into it more.
Right.
When we brought Brian on the show, Trigger and I had already been doing like 3-hour podcasts. Like our podcasts were like long as fuck. And when I met Brian, I met him through one of our friends, Steve Vargas, who runs what was his? What's his podcast? Well, I know that you guys have Gym Class Majors, but that one you guys kind of like delayed a little bit, right? Because of his work.
Yeah, he doesn't have a podcast, but he did have a YouTube channel where he was he was just strictly like the wrestling aspect of interviewing, and honestly, I learned a lot through that guy just on interviewing
from him
and stuff like that. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's a really great cat. I felt like he was like my first meet of a person that does like interviews and podcasting here in the Valley when it came to that notion where they were kind of like in the movement of interviewing people in person and applying it to like a variety talk show. So when I met Brian, he brought us on a show that we were doing like it was the Halloween one, right? Or was it?
That was the first one. Was the Halloween one? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we did like a Halloween breakdown of like the top 20. Yeah, he's getting it going, man. I heard that right now, dude.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You fit right in. I like it.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're about that life. I like it. So that's how I met Brian. But I at the time, I don't know, Brian, you hadn't done like a show like that long, right? Like they were never that long. I think they were like, you guys were used to like the show. You guys were used to recording like an hour long and then separate them into like sections, like 30 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, we were kind of ahead of the curve on that, like kind of like shorts, like short content,
short clips,
things of that nature, which are like a really, really big thing now, which is probably the best way to monetize at the moment. But yeah, man, that's we were strictly nothing more than an hour. We wanted to get in, get out, because the attention span of a lot of people are
quick base.
Short. Yeah. So we kind of want to get in, get everything, and I think honestly that's if you're gonna go the organic route, I think we were trying to be like funny and quick-witted and all that stuff, and that kind of helps it with being such a short.
That makes a lot of sense. That does. And then when we brought Brian on the show, I bet you like when Brian first started off, I don't know if you remember that, Brian. I was like, it feels like it was so long ago already. It was probably like nerve-wracking for you to come in and be like, dude, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking pull off a 3-hour show. Like that's got to be like wild in the sense of like, you know, maintaining a conversational structure for that long. So I know there was probably a lot of fucking stress on Brian.
No, to be honest with you, I'm be honest with you. It really wasn't as stressful because one, I was already doing the episodes with D, so like whatever nervousness I might have had,
that was already
right out the fucking window. But not only that, but like, dude, I'm a low key geek. I'm not like a sweat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't have anybody to talk about this shit with. So to find guys to talk about this shit with, dude, like
it fucking feels good, dude.
Get me in there, bro. Like, hell yeah,
it feels fucking good to be able to talk about this shit out loud.
Shit,
it's so wild, like how it feels nowadays to be able to talk about this. But for a really long time, we had this show going on from like 9 to midnight, and Brian. I had never fucking thought of this, dude, until like a couple of like, dude, it was like a handful of shows ago where Brian was like, Chris, I love you, man, but it's really, really hard to do this midnight shit. And I'm like, man, I get it, man. Midnight's pretty rough. You guys, no.
No, you don't get it.
It's midnight for you.
Yeah.
It's 1 a.m. for me. And then my mind clicked, dude. It was like that, like a fucking, like my everything, just third eye opened up and shit like that. And I was like, my God.
I had to learn my lesson.
It's 1 in the morning for Brian.
No, I just like the fact that Brian has the camera perfectly angled to the TV in the back where you see it's 11:03 people.
Yeah, it's 11:03. Yeah, he has it set up there now, dude.
That's how
he's had it like that the whole fucking time. Actually, I just never paid attention to it.
You know, it was funny that first episode. I just totally disrespected how long you guys go for because I had to pee like 4 times because I'm just
4 times.
Beer.
Yeah.
I'm banging beer and water and shit. Like I wasn't gonna be sitting down in front of a live audience for like the next 4 fucking hours.
Pee bag.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, damn. Yo, I swear, I debated just unzipping and just going right in the can, right in front of
and just having the fucking colostomy bag under the table and shit. It never failed, dude. Like right as soon as Brian told me, like I had to make sure, like, nope, we're cutting at 11. So that's when we changed the format of our show. What I want to ask you, what I want to ask you is, what has been like the most memorable moment in your podcasting career? Like, I like this, the wildest shit you've ever had happen.
Oh, I'll never forget.
That's a great question.
Here's a good one. Buckle down for this one. We had a raffle. We were giving away I think it was a T-shirt on the podcast live, and we were doing a raffle. We got quite a few people. We got about at least 9 or 8 people that actually bought the raffle ticket. And I was talking to Chu with everybody. Now you know, because he came to the podcast. He is an amputee. He only has one leg. So him and I were talking the vehicle on the way to the podcast, and he goes, "Oh, I got a great idea." He goes, and he tells me, "I go, what?" He goes, "When you're looking for something to put the tickets in, let me know." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know where you're going with this."
This is already sounding.
So I'm there like, okay, whatever. So the guest comes.
This is gonna get weird, dude.
This is gonna get fuck.
The guest comes in and he's sitting there, and we have everything in the middle of the table. And he goes, "Oh man, I need a bowl, man. I need a bowl. Gotta find something, a bowl to put all these names in." And the guest's looking at their table, he's looking on top of the table, looking around the room, and you see Chico, I got something. Hold on. I go, "What are you doing?"
It's already sounding bad,
and the
dude.
first thing I'm like, "Oh no, you're not, dude." Oh,
yo, did it make like a suction noise? Like,
yeah, he did.
Dude,
on our episode there on YouTube. He pops it off.
That's gotcha, dude.
That was sick.
Use this. I'm like, what the heck?
That's awesome, dude.
Our guess is like, what the?
This jaws dropped, dude.
But yeah,
can I get something else? Some wet wipes, please.
Oh my god, dude! That was the look on our guest's face was magical, and he's taken it off a couple of times when wrestlers have come in, say they want to whoop his ass, and he'll pop it off. Well, yeah, I got a weapon. I got a weapon on me.
I got a weapon.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. That's just like one of the craziest episodes I think I've ever done with him. The amputee leg, yes, the famous amputee leg.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's wild, man. That's so fucking wild, man.
It is. Man.
Chewy's a character, man. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he is.
Well, I gotta ask you. So you've been podcasting for a while. Have you had the opportunity to have any or interview any celebrity guests? And if not, or if you have, what's been your starstruck moment?
Oh my goodness. Well, being from the Valley, the one that Chu and I got really excited was with actually we got to interview Tim Smith. That one was a crazy one. A crazy one, man. I remember seeing him in '83 when he first started. I was only 7, 8 years old at the time, and to actually get a hold of him, and he answered back. That's what freaked me out. That he answered back, and he came on the show, man. He came before he had to do the weather report at, I think, before 9 o'clock. He came at 7, and he did the interview with us. And man, it was a blast, man. We gave him gifts, craft beer, and all that stuff. Yeah, he's a big craft guy.
So Brian, I gotta explain to you this. The guy he's talking about, Brian, is a weather dude from the local television station.
Okay.
That dude in the Valley is like probably the fucking P. Diddy of the Valley.
Yeah.
He's P. Diddy of the Valley.
Pretty much.
He's the fucking most famous, non-famous, famous guy you're ever gonna meet down here. His name's Tim Smith. Yeah. This dude, the legend. Look in the comment section. Tim Smith is a legend. Local dude, man. It's not even fucking. It's weird as shit.
Yeah.
How many people look at this dude like he's like fucking super famous for no reason, and all he does is just do the weather. It's not, dude. I can't even tell you off the top of my head the normal people that give the news, but I'll tell you the motherfucker that does the weather though.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you that he's a G, man. He's our John Wick. He's our John Wick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he is our John Wick.
Yeah, he's a pretty fucking cool guy though, man.
Yeah, real chill,
he's a John Wick of the Valley. Yeah, and for some reason everybody looks at him like, dude, when you run into this dude, like you wipe your fucking hands off, you wipe your pants off, and you're like, oh man, you fix your shirt and making sure it doesn't have any wrinkles and shit. You're like, fuck. You run into this guy like at HEB or some shit, dude. That's funny as shit.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. That's
actually a picture of the guy right now, man, and he looks like if this weather thing wasn't working out, he would have definitely been. He definitely would have been in porn, yo. He was definitely gonna be a porn star.
Actually, before
he looks like
before he became a weatherman, he was a disc jockey, man. He had a. You should have.
Yeah,
seen
he was a good disc
jockey. You showed his picture. He had a.
Yeah, in the 60s, and you know what? That just went around the internet. locally here a while back when they put the video or picture up of him like in the '60s and with his afro and all that shit. Like this guy, and he's a real cool guy, dude. Like,
yeah, real.
when
Cool,
you meet him in
cool
person,
guy.
really nice, real laid back, real chill. Kind of guy that you could probably get a drink with and just kind of just talk and shoot the shit.
Yeah, he's a big craft beer drinker, man.
Okay.
He loves to drink craft beer.
And he's very much about his community. He's been this dude that's had this Tim's Toys and Tim's Jackets, which is like him trying to provide charity and donations for people that don't have the money to do it during the holidays and stuff like that. You know, he's a good cat, man. He's a really, really good cat.
Yeah,
but
he is, man.
That's a really cool person, man, to have a fucking starstruck moment with.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to bring that guy on the podcast. I hit him up, or we talked to him once when we had an event where we covered the Rotary Club in Edinburgh, which is, of course, like the higher echelon of people that make really good money that are able to donate to the city, politics, and all that good stuff. We met him there at the Echo Motel, which is like the place that's notoriously known for drugs. That's pretty much what it's known for. But it's owned by someone who is a part of the Rotary Club and was a huge bitch to us, which I'll tell that lady to her face. But Tim Smith laughed when I told her off, so that was cool. Yeah, he laughed as I told her off. He when I told him about the podcast, I was like, hey man, because he laughed as soon as we got done. He was like, what are you guys doing? Like, what do you guys do? Like, you guys do interviews and stuff, and you run a YouTube channel or what? And I was like, no, we have a podcast, man, and our door, if you ever want to come and check it out, it's always open to you. And he's like, well, what's it like or what? And I could not come up in my mind with a better option of saying, well, do you ever see the Joe Rogan show? So, like, I don't know if he automatically assumed he talked about, like, or like something. I don't know what he got. And he's like, kinda, but that's cool, man. Yeah, I definitely want to hit you guys up one day. And I was like, is this guy
We're never
going to
talk to
drug use? Yeah, we're never going to talk to this guy, dude. I don't know if he bet he'd talk about the drug use or whatnot, but what a cool motherfucker, man. What a cool guy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what guest we're probably never going to have. Him.
Yeah, Tim Smith. Hey, I'm going to surprise you motherfuckers one day with him one day.
It's going to happen.
It's going to be us, and I'm going to invite Chewy and U on the podcast, too, to have him on there, too, with Tim Smith. And that's going to be our 10-man team right there, dude. That's going to be it.
Dude,
right
I'm going to be the only person other than Brian from there who's not starstruck. Like,
Brian's going to be like, yo, you're the guy from my internet page, right? Whoa, you're the guy from the browser.
Yeah, no, like, well, the thing is that, like, I worked in multimedia for fucking, 10 years.
Your
so I've met,
guys, right?
I've met Tim Smith on multiple occasions.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so this is, like, if I were to see him again, I'd be like, hey. That's it. Yeah, like how's the station going? I guess I don't know,
Brian. Brian, to break down how like Tim Smith is. There was this one
to everybody
time we were
else.
Gonna get some,
by the way,
yeah, we were gonna get this fucking bad weather one time, and he was like, "Look, just know where you're from." Like, just know your zip code. Look at the map. And he points to the map that's behind him on the Weather Channel, and he's like, know where your fucking place is. But he doesn't say fucking, but, like, he's like, know where you're from. When you're reading this map, don't just be like, oh, that's the valley, we're getting weather. Like, know where you're from. Know your city. And then from there, dude, that spawned a whole, like, hashtag of, like, Tim Smith, know your place.
Yeah.
Like, it blew up. Like, I mean, the valley's, like, no chill when it comes to, like, the trolling shit. So, everyone had the hashtag Tim Smith, know your place. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. Just a dude, man.
So, listen, I have a question for U. So, I watched the podcast that you had Chris on, and I kind of, like, snowballed into a few other episodes that I watched. Okay. And by the way, I'm a fan off the bat. Like, you guys have a pretty cool show. My question to you is, production-wise, what's the production like? So do you guys try to have like a pre-production type of sit down meet, or is this just all free flowing, just off the top of the dome?
Just like what you're doing right here, Brian. Okay. Just the same thing, man. It's just inviting someone to the house, drinking a cold one, and shooting the shit, and just
I love it.
The purchases, yeah. I mean, that's what's so raw about it. I mean, I've seen other podcasts that they pre-record. And I respect it, because sometimes you end up saying something you don't mean to say, and you want to go out and go back and correct that. Mm-hmm. When you go live, it's a beautiful thing because you get the real person. Yeah. They have to watch what they're gonna say. they gotta actually project themselves and say, okay, I know what this kind of guy is. I know who he is, and he seems like a pretty cool cat. Or it could be otherwise. This guy's full of it. I don't even know why he's on there, and it goes either way. It all depends. But that's the beauty about going live. It's raw. That's what I like about it.
And when it comes to the line of questionings that you guys have, or do you guys collaborate on that, or does someone take the lead, or do you guys just get just a few keynotes and then just shoot it from there?
Most of the time, I mean, when we start the show, I know Chu likes to give me the lead a lot because I'm the one controlling the board and everything. Like Chris saw that day when he got interviewed, and I usually do the opening and get the ball rolling so we can start rolling on it. Chu comes in with his comedy relief, which is awesome, you know, and sometimes he pulls out real good points on some questions that I miss. He picks them up, or he's asking a question. I already have a follow up question for it, you know, and so forth. We just keep the ball rolling, you know. But we do chit chat before we get there to the studio, and we try to say, okay, how we're going to approach this guest. And one good one, for instance, if you go back to one of our episodes, this gentleman, his name is Cesar Cano. They would tell us stories about the guy, and they told us, well, be careful of this guy. He's kind of socially awkward. Don't get on his bad side, this and that. So I was like, okay, I don't know what the deal is. So the first thing I told you, when this guy comes in, let's just let it roll. Let's see where he falls.
Yeah.
So when we started interviewing him, I started noticing little by little, you know, okay, this guy, he is a little socially awkward. I have a son, he's on the spectrum, and I think this guy's on the spectrum also. Yeah. So I just let it roll, you know, let him roll. And he was kind of nervous, but at one point we were talking, he dropped his water on the table.
Oh, okay.
And he freaked out. He freaked out. Yeah. Oh! I go, no, man, don't worry about it. It's just water, man. Are you okay? Yeah. This is electrical equipment. This could be replaced. Are you all right?
Yeah.
As soon as I showed that, he just opened up.
Nice.
And if you watch that episode, he's a guitar player. Phenomenal guitar player. I think that video has seen about at least over 2,000 views. I mean,
really?
It's awesome. Great guitar player, man. I had him on the show again. If you went back, he actually did a live performance at some cigar salesmen were on our podcast. He did a live performance also. Great kid, man. Awesome kid, dude.
Nice.
Like I said, he's out there. He is really out there, but great guest to have on the show also.
Cool.
Yeah. That is super cool, man. Super cool. I have to ask you, we are a nerd podcast. Like, we do a lot of like nerdy shit, and this is like across the spectrum.
Right.
What is your nerd IP that like that's your go-to? This is like your fan, like you're a diehard member of this legitimate thing. It could be anything, because I'm telling you, we got knowledge all around, bro. We got knowledge all around. But what's your thing, man? Like, is it Star Wars? Is it fucking Barbie, dude? Barbie's coming out. Like...
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a big Barbie fan.
I was gonna say,
yeah, everyone is apparently, dude. It's about to beat out Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, dude.
But no, man, I'm a huge Bruce Campbell fan. I've always loved the Evil Deads.
Yeah.
One of my favorite actors. Everything from Evil Dead all the way to Army of Darkness. Even when he came out on the last Doctor Strange, the last movie he came out as a
Doctor Strange film.
Especially when he says, when his hand stops moving, it's over. You know, that was like one of my favorite bits.
Yeah.
I mean, big Bruce Campbell fan. I love watching horror flicks, pretty much horror flicks, man. You know, that's really what I'm kind of into.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. When it comes to horror, what's like your top of the food chain? I mean, I wouldn't consider like Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 3. It kind of like correlates to where like Evil Dead 1 was like that psychological horror, kind of like a little bit of like the satire. And then, of course, we saw the culmination of it going from 1 to 2 to 3 and into Army of Darkness. And then the culmination of it being like full satire, making fun of itself in the horror
especially
genre.
The series.
What's like your favorite? Oh, I love it, man. Oh, the one that came out on HBO? HBO or Cinemax, I think, or something like Stars or something. But that's a good show. That's a hell of a good show. Even the newer films for Army of Evil Dead weren't too bad with the female characters and all that stuff too. So I haven't seen the new one, which is the one that just popped off. I heard a lot of people thought it was pretty good.
I was talking to my wife about that just a few minutes ago because we were scrolling through our through something to watch. Usually when I get home from work, we like to watch Big Bang Theory. So we're scrolling through it, and then I told her, look, that movie. I want to see I think it's called the new Evil Dead. I believe I think he directed it. And I think Bruce Campbell helped produce it also, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him, hey man, I want to see a movie. And she was like, well, I've heard review. Like, okay. All right, Chris.
I saw it.
Chris says you have a great mind of movies. So I'm just gonna take what you said. So, yeah,
she was popping off on some great questions, dude. You know what? When I was on the podcast, Brian, I know you got to say it. Triggs, I don't know if you got to watch the podcast, the Chewy New podcast I was on.
No. Unfortunately, I haven't. Like, I need that link. Like if I were to get a link to the show, then yeah, I mean, I'm good to go. Yeah. I'll
John,
give you a sub
right
like
now.
anywhere.
Welcome
you
to
got.
the show. Yeah, we're back right now. Good stuff. We're going good. Iwi's here, so he's good with the podcast. We didn't get to bring on his partner Chewy, but we're gonna see if we could do that next week. So we'll bring him on. But we got Iwi on the pod, so he's here to take over for him for today. Triggs, so his wife brought the greatest question to my attention, which was, why did Marvel go this direction with the time traveling bit that they used with the multiverse and all that stuff, if they didn't go with something as simple as the way they did it in Back to the Future? Like Back to the Future was very simple. It was you go to Back to the Future, you come back, and everything's fixed. Why did they go this format where you could go back, fix the time stream, and then come back? But while there's a time stream, there's also the multiverse that spawns from it. I thought that was a great question because of the fact that we talked about this way before they were going to do that, and we were like, man, that's going to be a hard pull off to do in film.
Yeah.
And she is. Would you consider your wife like a casual film watcher, or is she very dedicated to like stories? Like she'll like put it out there and be like, nope, that sucks.
Yeah, she's real dedicated to stories, man. And hardcore.
Okay.
Especially from the whole Twilight thing that came out, where she'd read the books and when it goes to the movies, and she was like, oh, they missed this, and this. Everything into the Marvel stuff. I mean, name it. She's like real detail. I'm like, just enjoy the film, man. Just enjoy the film.
Yeah, that's literally the argument we have here all the time.
It's weird. I actually do kind of have an answer, or like I think I would have an answer for the question that you asked, but that'll be for another conversation.
Go for it. I want to hear it.
Okay.
I mean, she's probably listening right now to the show. Yeah.
Well, then I would say, well, first and foremost, like, you know, we had that movie came out in what, like 1986, something like that. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Yeah. Came out in 1986, right?
Yeah.
Easiest way to put it, in my opinion, times were simpler back then. You wanted simple answers. You wanted like every movie was direct. Every single movie was direct. You know, like you had very, very small niche movies that gave you a very, very complex story in a very, very condensed amount of time. As the medium grew, I believe that not only that, but the information that we get through the medium, like, of movies, also tends to grow. On top of that, we're also getting more in detail into the comics themselves, right? So now you have two separate avenues that are already conjoining, where you're gonna have the sweaties like myself and Chris, or we're gonna ask the stupid fucking question, well, why didn't this happen like this? And, you know, fucking Chris is a commu-Nazi, dude, and has to have an answer for everything.
I'm a comic Nazi.
Yeah, and like, so
we should make up a new term for this, dude.
And so that's why, like, in my opinion, as the medium grew, I believe the information that we get through it grows as well. Because you I mean, what do you get in Back to the Future?
Okay,
what was it, 1.21 gigawatts? And biodiesel.
I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of you. I do think it's kind of like a more or less an evolution of where we are right now in time. You kind of have a kind of an expanded palette for time travel. But to be honest with you, man, the simple answer that we got in Back to the Future, it's been the best one told ever. Honestly, if you think about it, it's been the best.
It makes more sense.
It's been the best time travel movie of all time. And I don't think it's even close because it was simple. You got it. Anyone that was watching that movie understood what was going on. Now, if you watch Endgame or whatever, it was like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? Like, none of this shit makes any fucking sense. And it takes you out of it. It takes you out of the movie, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little rough. And then the thing is when you have, and this is just my opinion on this, when you have a structure where you're trying to introduce both time travel and the multiverse, both of those types of storytelling, they take a really, you need to have a network of storytellers that work together, not a production team that's telling their actors and their writers not to read or watch the previous stuff to understand that it needs to correlate. Because with one little thing that passes, it could change the entire situation, right? Like you look at Black Widow, right? So Black Widow at the ending of Endgame gets sacrificed, and what's his name? Bruce Banner gets the gauntlet. They come back. They talk about how he was like, I really tried, guys. Like I did everything in my mind to bring her back, but the stone has a rule that it does not allow that person to come back, right? Mm-hmm. But 5 seconds later, they bring back Gamora without a problem, when she was the same sacrifice for Thanos, which didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh shit, like, okay, well, how does that work? Like, how do you explain that to the reader and watcher?
That's
because they're going to have the same type of question. Yeah, they're going to have the same type of question, and it's not even in the fact of like them needing to read comic books. It's just like, oh, why couldn't they do that? You made a whole, and you know what was really cool? Shout out to my brother Bobby. He gifted me a Quest 2, the VR set. And on the Quest 2, they have this app called Big Screen, which is you to be able to watch films on the VR in like a theater setting. And it's in a social environment, so there's people that can watch it alongside of you in the room also. For the last like day or two, people have been playing a really badass 3D version of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So I've been going back in and watching Guardians. I got to see Triggs. I sent you that picture the other day. I was watching Dune in 3D that someone put up in VR on a 3D theater in there. It was really, really cool to watch in 3D. But yeah, like I think we're running into problems right now in when it comes to like all of these IPs that are dealing with the multiverse stuff. But going back to you talking about Evil Dead, I never realized that in the story, Army of Darkness introduces when he goes out into the land of the Deadites, that there's 3 books. One of them has the vortex. Mm-hmm. One of them has the hand that bites his hand, and the other one is the regular book that he has to say the Klaatu Barada Nikto correctly, but he fucks it all up, right? And if he doesn't,
I said it.
Yeah, Klaatu Barada. There, I said it. Yeah, I got that shit. If not, it curses the land and it brings the darkness into the reality or whatever. It brings it. I did not know, and someone brought this to my attention, that the books that are in the new Evil Dead movies are the other 2 books.
Oh shit.
And I was like, whoa, okay, so that's why Nick Campbell's character, or Bruce Campbell's character, is not Nick Campbell. I was going to say Nick Cannon. Jesus Christ, that guy fucks everybody.
Interesting.
I was going to say, Bruce Campbell's character is only in one of them, but not in the new movies, or not in any of it, or not even referenced, because he's in another path that deals with like the multiverse of the Evil Dead realm.
Here we go.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, it's so. Do you guys think
the newer 2 movies have really nothing to do
with the other
any of the older movies? I've seen both of the newer ones, and I liked them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're really good. I thought they were really good.
Yeah.
To be able to go back to its roots about being like a movie based on like an actual like scary film. Mm-hmm. Like I love what they did with Army of Darkness. I think that the satire horror storytelling genre, that's like a whole untouched realm. And Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell fucking killed it, dude, when it came to Army of Darkness. Efren in the comment section is talking all that mad smash to you, dude. They jobbed Adam Warlock in Infinite. They fucking did, dude. That's a man that knows his thing right there. That is a man. But you know what? The new guy that they brought in is really, really good. I did see. You know what? I had a question, and this is for probably like Triggs, Brian, you too. Well, you too, man. The girl that comes out in the new one, which is what's that character's name? The little girl that they just recently found.
I haven't seen the movie yet. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Something Vel. Something Vel.
Phyla-Vell.
Yeah, Phyla-Vell.
I just need to remember. Yeah, Phyla-Vell. That's a character in the comic. She's really OP. She's like a magic user, cosmic user. She's almost like a Nova style character. Mm-hmm. I barely noticed this yesterday when I was watching it in that VR shit. She has the same lines on her face that Thanos has. Oh, the 3 lines that come down like this, and then they go into the jaw, but she doesn't have the ones on the jaw. She only has them coming upwards. And we know that with a new DVD theatrical release of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, there is a deleted scene, but it's probably going to be canon, that, of course, the High Revolutionary is not killed, but he's actually imprisoned by Rocket Raccoon on. Yeah,
if you look up on YouTube, like he's putting his face back, and like Rocket closes the jail, the cell on him, and like that's it. Like he like walks away all stoic and shit like that.
So we do know that the High Revolutionary will probably make some type of comeback in the future coming in. But my question to you is, do you think that the High Revolutionary took like the genes of the what are they called? The ones from the Eternals?
The Deviants?
Like the characters that Thanos is part of. Deviant. Right? Because
he's an
Thanos
Eternal.
Is eternal. Well, he's an Eternal and part Deviant.
He's both. He's Eternal and Deviant.
Now, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's why I said my boy Brian's got in this.
He's both.
Yeah, he's that's why he wasn't. That's why he was an outcast, is because he was part Deviant in the Eternals. So that's pretty good, right?
He's part Deviant.
Yeah. Both of his parents are Eternal, right?
He's got a Deviant gene. He's got.
I know he is. I know he does. It's actually a mutation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, either way,
it doesn't make you right. That either way, right.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. You're still wrong.
Yeah. I'm not wrong.
That just makes you not as wrong. That's what it is.
I wasn't wrong to begin with.
I know. But the question is, do you think Phyla-Vell is going to be a character based on someone that the Higher Evolutionary like spliced with a deviant gene, like trying to make another version of Thanos since he was so strong? Because the whole entire like little group of kids that are in that movie all have those lines, and those are very prevalent. Because I remember when what was it, Infinity War dropped, when we got to see him up close, like everyone was talking about the lines on his face, because that's like his that's his calling card in the comic books, the fucking the nut jaw, the one that he's called nut chin or whatever. They used to have like a funny nickname for him back in the day, but but they added those lines to the top of his face, and Marvel's one of those people that they don't fuck around when it comes to adding little things like that, little details, especially someone like James Gunn. Like that was a very interesting thing I saw. I just wanted to ask your guys' take on it to see what you guys think.
Okay.
Thanos is called the Mad Titan. He's not a Titan. He's from Titan. Yeah. The only Titan I would recommend that's ever a Titan in the comics is Uranos, which is that new Eternal guy. That guy's a fucking beast.
Well, he's still an Eternal, but...
Yeah. But he's like...
That guy's just a powerhouse, dude. That guy took out an entire planet of Omega level mutants, dude, in an hour.
But... being that we're talking about something like that from the Marvel Universe is something that I wanted to bring up, and this is a good segue into the conversational piece. How are you on your Deadpool knowledge? And did you guys hear the rumors of this past week for all the stuff that's going on with Deadpool 3?
I have not. Unfortunately, I have not dipped into it since the last time we talked about it. But by the way, I like the segue I put on for you when you said Ryan Reynolds was saved. Save the what is so? I think you said the Sony.
Save the fucking Fox universe. Yeah,
that's where you have him smelling the guns. I'm touching myself tonight. That was like one of my best parts.
Yeah, I saw that dude with the pic you put up. That was awesome, dude. Dude, your production quality is so cool.
And Chu said, "Yeah," real quick after that. So that was
just chill.
Money. Yeah, but as far as upcoming, I'm excited. I'm excited for the film, man. I just wanted to come out already. Seeing Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds in the same film. The way they joke with each other all the time when they do their memes and stuff like that.
Their skits and stuff.
I can't. Yeah, I can't imagine the excitement, what's going to happen on screen. That's what I'm waiting for.
Efren in the comment section. Ew is the RGV's Ryan Reynolds. Prove me wrong. Definitely is, dude. Sexiest man in the RGV, man. My dude, man. My dude. But guys, did you guys get to see all the releases for Deadpool 3 this coming week? There was a lot of stuff that got dropped. First off, there was pictures from behind the scenes. We saw Ryan Reynolds' new costume. It's very much the same colors as him in the actual Marvel comic books. Looks really sharp. Looks real like the way they did the color scheme with Daredevil in the She-Hulk series. Like, the colors are very vibrant. They come out very strong. Of course, we also heard the rumors that Hugh Jackman will be donning the yellow and blue Wolverine costume. So we're getting finally getting a legit Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine costume.
I heard that was a
so
rumor,
that's going to be really, really cool.
I wanted to go back to the costume really quick. Just shortly touch on that. Mm-hmm. Do you prefer the newer costume? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of prefer the old, like, tarnished, like, dingy one, personally.
There was I don't know if you guys remember that there was that video that they released where he's like typing on a suit and you can see like the duct tape and all the bullet holes, and it's just like his story, like his costume literally told the story of who his character was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it you could see the road that he traveled in that suit. What I'm guessing is the reason why they're going to change it, and there's probably going to be like a fourth wall break with him being like, oh, I made it to the 616. Look at my pretty costume or something. Like, I guarantee there's going to be something like that because of like, oh, well, maybe it's supposed to be a PG rating, or, there's going to be some kind of quip back. And and Ryan Reynolds as a writer and as a director and as someone who loves his IP, he'll find a way to make it make sense. I kind of was a little iffy on the fact that he's missing like all the pouches and the belt pouch. There's something about it that it looked very empty in the middle. I know that's kind of comic book variation, very well put together and stuff like that, but it looks a little, I don't know, it looks a little empty. I don't know if you guys saw that. There is a picture that they released where he's just standing there, and maybe it's just that for that picture he has the belt off. Maybe. But I don't know. I think it's okay. I'd have to see it, like at least some kind of trailer of it in action. But I'm more excited on the stuff that I've actually been hearing on the cameos that are about to be made.
I was gonna say, let's get down to like the nitty gritty.
Let's get the fucking
let's
get down to the fucking brass tacks.
Rumor alert. Let's go.
So first, Christian Tate, or what's his name? Channing Tatum as
Channing Tatum.
I was gonna say Channing Tatum as Gam. I was gonna say Christian Tatum, bro. Did you hear that?
Dude, if there's a name to be said, he was gonna pronounce it wrong.
He's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he does it on purpose.
Oppenheimer.
Chris, what's your name? Pronounce your name.
Crass.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Christ. Charis.
It's like you go out of your way to do it, though. It's like you have to. Like, I don't understand.
That's what I do. Dude, I'm fucking like 100%, dude. Even though I know I'm gonna fuck it up 100%, I fuck it up. No hold back. No holds bars, dude. It's like Oppenheimer, or what is the one that I've been saying for weeks?
Dude,
Oppenheimer, right?
That name was giving you hell last week, bro.
It still does, bro.
I don't even read the title.
It still does.
I never read the title. I never read the title of the film. I never seen the words.
Jeez Louise. Okay, so yes, Channing Tatum, he has been rumored is showing up as none other than
Gambit. Remy LeBeau, boys. So how do we feel about this? Of course, we do know that the dude from the other X-Men Origins movie that played Gambit and all this other stuff had already made an intro. That guy's a pretty good, well-known character. Not too bad.
Alternate universe.
What is it? Fox. He's a Fox Universe guy, though, man. Isn't that Fox Universe? That's no Fox Universe.
That was Fox.
Yeah, because they made reference to it at the ending of the last Deadpool movie when he gets the device and he goes back in time and kills that Deadpool. But I guess that would be a multiverse thing again, too, right?
And when he wrote Green Lantern, but anyways.
Oh, but that's a DC universe in general. That's like, dude, Ryan Reynolds has already fucking done the thing that no one thought that they could do, which he's the only guy that's crossed over into DC and nobody batted an eye on that shit. And that's the same thing as like in the Deadpool movie, he was like, "Oh, fucking, what did he call him? He was what did fucking Thanos? He kept calling him Thanos, and you fucking sound like Batman, and he was dropping references from like everything comic book. That's so fucking cool. But from the story that I've heard is that the TVA from the Loki series is going to play a major aspect in the Deadpool movie.
Oh,
and
shit.
Apparently, like, the Deadpool film is going to be very much like Loki 1, where the TVA is going to capture him, and then they're going to turn him into one of the TVA workers. He's going to be going around doing a bunch of shit. And that's how we're getting a lot of these, like, cameos, because apparently, like, Channing Tatum's not the only one that's doing this. Apparently, Sir Ian McKellen's coming back. He's going to be Magneto. We
Jennifer
got
Garner's back.
Ben Affleck,
Jennifer Garner as Elektra. That just Ben Affleck, shit. Which is wild as shit because her and Jennifer Garner they used to be a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
So
They were
I don't
married.
know how they're gonna correlate.
They got kids, bro.
Yeah, they got things going on. So I don't know how that's gonna. I mean, they're probably good now. It's been like years and years and years, but
Dude, they've always been good. Like they've always been good.
Have they?
Yeah, there was never any bad blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that. You know she's not a Chicano, man. Yeah, I was like,
yeah, but I mean,
say,
you know
how Chicanos work, man.
This is true.
Yeah,
what's she gonna do? Go back to the block? Chill out, dude. What she's gonna ruin that relationship again? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
It's fucking. She got weapons this time. She's ready to fucking handle that shit. Apparently there's that. I've even heard that they're gonna find a way to bring in Wanda again. That Wanda's gonna play another core member of this
Wanda's
thing.
Gonna
There's
be
a
like
lot of fucking
very,
rumors.
very, very important aspect of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild, dude. Because she was already an important aspect of like all the films at the ending of like phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like phase 4, she was dropping all over the place. She had problems in Doctor Strange. She of course had her own series that was going on. Like there was just a bunch of shit that she was already fucking around with. So like to see that she's gonna now play a bigger aspect, and then she's up and out of it in the ending of the Doctor Strange film. You know, there's that thing about her being unalived in that film. Yo, that's a really good fucking question. Do you think there is a possibility, and man, I would be like, it would be shit if they didn't, that we get a Wesley Snipes cameo?
Dude, if we did, honestly, I'd be kind of mad.
Dude, if we did, why, dude? He saved the Marvel universe, dude.
Because, dude, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna give me Wesley Snipes as Blade again, but you still haven't given me the Mahershala Ali Blade yet?
Yes.
Snipe coming out as a new villain, maybe.
No, what new villain? Like the fucking movie hasn't even come out yet. Well, what have they shot? You know what they've shot? Nothing. Nothing.
No, they haven't shot anything. But like, what I'm talking about too is like just them bringing him back as Blade, like him coming back to do a cameo as Blade again. Like I don't. Like,
why don't you give me some Mahershala Ali first? Then we'll talk.
Bring him as the dude in fucking Kingpin. Why would you need to bring in Mahershala Ali?
Snipes. Yeah,
because he's supposed to be the next Blade.
Like,
yeah, it's true.
No, that's understandable. I mean, fucking Gambit. I mean, Channing Tatum got fucking canceled completely.
Yeah,
like,
but that project's already done and gone. You're like, yeah, get over it. But the fucking Blade is still is still in production. They're still trying to make the movie.
The Hulk cameo I've heard of. I've heard of the Eric Bana reference that he might be in it, and also the Edward Norton Hulk. Now I don't know if you guys have heard this, and we didn't get to cover it much, but they recently did get the rights back from Hulk, apparently back from Universal Studios, but it's very under the radar. It hasn't been announced yet, but apparently they either got them or they're in talks to already finalizing the deal, which is cool, but like they've already ruined the Hulk a million times over.
I don't believe that.
But the thing is, okay, I have to ask, that they're gonna get the Hulk? Why not?
Yeah, why would Universal give that up when they can just loan him?
They're not doing anything with it.
They can just loan him out.
The Sony style, right?
Yeah,
like they should do what they're doing with Sony.
I would just loan him out. Why would I hand him over?
Like,
bro? Yeah, I can loan him out. You're gonna pay me.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that would actually be the better idea for them as a company, Universal Studio. They just hold on to the rights. Yeah, make the money flow with them, man. But I did hear recently that they're on the cusp, or they already did, and they haven't made the announcement, but they got the entire rights to the Hulk back, which is cool because if they got that, they got the Namor rights, they got all that stuff. But yeah, I gotta touch base on this a little bit more, Triggs. I need a strong explanation of why you don't think a Wesley Snipes cameo would work, and the retion why I put that is because Wesley Snipes.
So I'll give you two. I'll give you two. I'll give you two answers.
Hold on. The reason why I say this is because everyone and their mother knows Wesley Snipes' Blade franchise, the IP, the trilogy, saved the entire Marvel comic book realm. It was going bankrupt. It wasn't going to make it. They made that movie in regards to like, well, we don't know what else to do. And Blade does karate movies. Like Wesley Snipes does karate movies and he wants to be at it, I guess, whatever. And he did it and it fucking killed it and it saved it. So if you don't think he deserves in some way to be referenced or honored in the new
argue that
MCU,
so bad. I want to argue this so bad. You know?
Go for it, dude.
You know what I mean, right? Like deep down inside, like he deserves to be honored in some way.
Yeah, but to say that he saved it is a bit much. He didn't save anything.
He did. No, he saved it. He single-handedly saved the Marvel industry.
Marvel ended up still selling most of their IP after that movie came out. What did you mean he saved it? He didn't save shit. They sold the IPs.
That's
the reason why we're in the mess that we're in right now when it comes with Spider-Man and Hulk is because they were broke.
Yeah.
Blade, I would say I'm sorry to cut you off. I would say that Robert Downey Jr. has more of the savior to Marvel than just as much as Wesley Snipes. I don't agree with you with that.
That's a great point.
Oh, that's
also another great point.
Yeah, that's fine. Wesley Snipes. Okay, Robert Downey Jr. When they came back to the MCU as a studio, that was Marvel taking its footsteps and saying, instead of us outsourcing our figures and all this stuff, the ones that we've already sold and we don't have the rights to, we want to get now into the film world. How do we do that? Mm-hmm. And then they said, well, we have to take a chance on someone. So who do we take a chance on? And they took a chance on Iron Man more than Captain America. Captain America is an easy sell, but it's not an interesting story. It's just kind of like cut and dry. But Iron Man as a person had so much like relatability. Alcoholic, didn't believe in himself, no father figure. There was a lot going on it. Mm-hmm. So with that, they took a chance. Robert Downey Jr., they were like, hey, dude, we've seen you rise and your fall and all that stuff and your comeback. Let's help you build that bigger. We want you to be a hero. And he took a chance too. So everyone took a chance to build that. And that's respectable. Robert Downey Jr. has got his flowers. He has built the MCU, and in the MCU was honored at the very end as the biggest hero in the franchise. All of the IPs that were sold, all of those people used those IPs minus the Namor IP, minus, everybody else used it. Ghost Rider, X-Men, Hulk. All of those characters were used by every franchise that bought their IPs. Mm. Blade was the only one that they didn't sell like the toy rights and the comics rights to. They only sold the image to I forgot who made the movie. I don't know if it was Fox or someone else, but I know it was more owned by Marvel than it was the other people. Okay. So when they approached it, Wesley Snipes was the guy that was like, "Hey, I'll do it. Let me help you out. My production team, my stunt team, all these guys." And they all jumped in on it. And they gave him almost full ride on how he wanted to have the Blade character. Mm-hmm. But all of the assets and all of the monies was going back to Marvel. And that's because Marvel, as a comic book company, was in shambles at the time because they sold all the rights because they were going broke. So this is like what we were talking about, I think like 2 weeks ago, when we were talking about the fire sale that Disney might be doing, where they're going to need to start selling some stuff to try to get that money back, right? Yeah. In that aspect. But this is Marvel actually having to do that. So when they did that with Blade knocked it out of the park. You can go back and check out the money they made, but they made a lot. I know it doesn't sound right.
You just used a lot of like that they lost. Knock it out the park. I don't know if they did that. Oh, and by the way, New Line Cinema was the one that produced.
I was about to say that New Line Cinema.
Yeah. You see, I know it wasn't Fox. and I know it went into Universal, but they did a really really good a job in saving Marvel in that aspect, and a lot of it was because Wesley Snipes took the reins on making that character.
Yeah.
And it did good, man. I mean, it's one of those things like, why not, dude? What would you rather see? Would you rather see Wesley Snipes as Blade or Ben Affleck as Daredevil? Like, Daredevil sucked. Like, the Elektra movies were okay, but they sucked. Like, there was nothing good about those characters. But what would you rather see? Would you rather see Blade? Would you rather see an opportunity to see Blade, Jessica Biel, and Ryan Reynolds as Hannibal King again?
And
then Deadpool run into all three of them.
I'm definitely on board with you.
If it was not, and not only that, hold on, not only that, just cut into it. If it wasn't for Ryan Reynolds being in Trinity and playing Hannibal King, the director would have never told him you were born to play Deadpool. Mm-hmm. And then he was Deadpool in the Origins movie, and now he's the biggest, almost one of the highest selling IPs that Marvel has still. Like, it would be roses for Ryan Reynolds made his entry to the whole entire comic book realm.
Okay.
There's just so many cool points to it. I don't know. You guys go ahead, debate it, but that's my take on it, man. That's my take.
I mean, again, I already spoke my piece. I will agree with you. I do think that seeing Wesley Snipes in Deadpool would be cool. I don't necessarily need the Mahershala Ali movie to see to see Wesley Snipes. I think it would be cool. But yeah, I just think saying that he saved the MCU is kind of rough.
No, he saved Marvel, the company Marvel, not the MCU. Sorry. He saved the entire. Marvel. Yeah, he saved the entire landscape.
Talking about like the building block is pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, because the company itself, the company overall was going bankrupt. Even at the time when they released the Eric Bana Hulk movie and they were going into the second film with Universal Studios, Universal's had lost so much money on the first Hulk film that they needed to...
Dude, this movie made $131 million. It didn't save shit, bro.
Which one? Blade?
Yeah.
None of the new movies are making that.
131 million?
Yeah, are any of the movies making that right now? Oh yeah, I don't even know, dude. I'm telling you.
They're making $1 billion. What are you talking about?
Blade 2 only made 54.
They didn't save shit. And then they still sold their IP after that, yo. I'm not buying it. I'm calling
No, they didn't sell the IPs after that.
I'll tell you this right now. Deadpool is not one of their highest selling IPs either.
For what? For Marvel? I mean, it's not even an IP for them yet. They just barely started the first film. Even if it were Marvel, it still doesn't even break their top 10. So you don't think Deadpool right now in the qualifications of all the films that are coming out, that it's not going to be one of the most anticipated Marvel films ever?
That's a completely separate question. That is a completely separate question.
I mean,
you said you just said anticipation. I'm going to rewind 10 seconds. Did you not just say anticipation? Fine. Okay. Anticipation because to most valuable IP. Those are the two distinctions that we're making here. All right. Yeah. Anticipated, yes. The hype behind this movie is so fucking high that I can smell that shit from here, dude. I love it. I'm all about it. Mm-hmm. It being one of their more, highest selling IPs, especially when it finally does come. Let me give you some material here. The first Deadpool made 782 million. The first Deadpool made 783 million. 783 million. That's amazing, right? Second made 786.
Okay.
Got the keyboards clacking.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how much? Do you know how much? Yeah, do you know how much Captain Marvel made?
No.
1.13 billion.
Oh, Captain Marvel?
And that movie fucking sucks compared to those.
Watch it.
No, I'll say it again. What?
Watch it.
Fuck Captain Marvel. Fuck Brie Larson.
The fucking masterpiece. You watch your mouth.
But fucking fuck Carol Danvers. Fuck what she stands for.
Yeah, ooh, that's Brian's favorite movie. That's Brian's.
Fuck her rank. Fucking, she's in the Air Force. Yeah, she's in the fucking Air Force.
Brian,
fucking whatever.
Points,
dude.
Brian, you're losing points.
Losing points.
I'm not a big fanatic. I watch it. Marvel. I like watching Marvel movies. I don't know the detail by detail, but
I'll watch Deadpool.
Okay.
I'll watch Deadpool 9 times out of 10 over Captain Marvel.
Okay, so it's like a running joke. I don't think it's a masterpiece. I just think it gets a lot of flack for no reason.
It gets a lot of slack, yeah.
I think it's a decent movie. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. So I like to take the side of defending it. Yeah, I like.
He plays devil's advocate, and that's that. And that's why we always give him shit for. But but the thing is that like to answer your question, like I'm answering your question on two fronts. One, I'm answering it on a fan side, and two, I'm answering it on a business side. All right. So as a fan, yes, 100%, I am far more excited about Deadpool 3 than almost anything coming out of Marvel. And I mean anything coming out of Marvel in a while, outside of
because I was gonna say
even outside of like Armor Wars, that's probably gonna be the next thing that I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for that. That's it,
because the one of the main things that I'm talking about is the idea of anticipation that sells so good for the Deadpool movie is. Quantumania was supposed to be like the last thing we were anticipating that Marvel was releasing. That was supposed to. Yet again,
Deadpool had way more hype about it than Quantumania did.
But Deadpool didn't drop the ball. Quantumania dropped the ball hard.
It also didn't pay out as much as Quantumania did. Down. Granted, but it still didn't pay out as much.
At the moments right now, if I was going to tell you I was going to release Quantumania or Deadpool 3, which one would you be more hyped for?
Deadpool 3.
Yeah, of course, Deadpool 3.
Okay, if I was gonna say Deadpool 3 or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness,
that's a better one. That's a better one because there was a lot of hype for.
I'm telling you right there, Deadpool 3
for Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness.
That's a
if
better
I was gonna release them at the same time.
Ooh, man, see, and that'd be a hard one.
Yes,
that would be a hard one. I would have to like
Benedict Cumberbatch. As a matter of fact, Benedict Cumberbatch says he is doing one film in 2024. And he's going to be coming out in one Marvel film. And you know what that film is hyped right now? The rumor? Deadpool 3. Mm-hmm. Even Benedict Cumberbatch is like, yo, I'll come out in this film. Like, I know this film's going to make money. The people that are coming out in this film are not coming out of it because it's a director they're wanting to work with or whatever. They're coming out in it because they know the hype that's coming with this film. Everyone wants to be on this film. Fucking, I bet you Patrick Stewart is asking to come out in this film. And he died.
I heard that he's one of the ones who will be coming. I've heard that he's one of the ones who will be coming.
What's his other name? Nah, I heard it's going to be the newer Fox kids. The only one that's apparently coming back is Sir Ian McKellen, which they'll probably find a way to bring Patrick Stewart back because they brought him both in the Days of Future Past movie, which... Right. I was supposed to get into with the part of the segue later, but the reason why apparently Hugh Jackman is a major player in this story is because he also time traveled and he's a part of the TVA. So he's arrested by the TVA also in the series, which is supposed to be the reason why. I thought that was man. That's a smart move.
Yeah,
that's a really, really smart move. They sent Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, back in time during Days of Futures Past, and they mess with the timeline. Of course, the TVA has a reason to be there. I didn't even think that was how they were going to initiate him in. That's a great thing, and apparently they're going to bring in.
Yeah, but then none of that's confirmed. That's just fan theory. Like, I mean,
but that's a really great fan theory, dude. That's like
but just because it's a really great fan theory doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
like you give me two scenarios, I guarantee you I can interlink them, and then I promise you I can still make it to where Hyperion is going to be confirmed.
Hyperion is confirmed, isn't he? No,
exactly.
No, the Century is. It's going to be Stephen Chow. I have to ask too,
which means Hyperion confirmed, powered by the sun. Million suns. That's how he got his powers. The Century. Boom. Hyperion confirmed.
The Hyperion. The Hyperion references because I'm a big Hyperion fan.
Dude,
that's like
Dick
my favorite
rides,
fucking
dude.
character.
Dick rides, dude.
And
it's like one of my favorite fucking characters. Yeah.
I hope for your sake that they do. Actually,
him right.
I hope for our sake that they do him right, because if not, he's going to.
I'm dying, bro.
He's going to unleash.
I'm gonna light some shit on fire, dude.
Dude, we have to sit here.
Dude, and we thought Gore was bad. We thought the conversation with Gore was bad. Oh my god, dude,
that was wild, man.
So a little bit of backstory on that. Like, Gore the God Butcher in the Thor storyline is probably one of Chris's favorite story arcs when it comes to Thor. And he is very, very passionate. Very, it's right there. You know, like
it's like right there, Jane Foster.
It's easily one of his favorite, story arcs in all of Marvel. So he's very, very passionate about it. Mine personally is the 2015 Secret Wars, with Jonathan Hickman and Time Runs Out. But yeah, man, and since they're also going to be doing that one, in 2027. I'm like, oh, dude, I know they're gonna fuck this up. So I'm mentally preparing myself. Yeah,
tightening up the butthole.
I have 4 years to tell myself they're gonna fuck this up. Well, anyway, like, we knew that they were gonna fuck it up, and like Chris just didn't want to believe it, and we were like, dude, you need to expect some disappointment. And he was like, no, dude, nah. And then like the movie came out, and he was like, this movie's trash. This movie's trash.
I remember me and Brian having like the longest debate conversation of why it didn't matter that Christian Bale looked like Gore the God Butcher in the comics. Remember that, Brian? We were all like, we were about that shit so long. That was funny as fuck. But I mean, it came out. It did what it did. Now they're in the situations they are. Marvel is in a pretty rough situation from what we've heard of. With that, I know we were still talking about what was it that we were talking about the Deadpool 3 rumors. Of course, like I said, Channing Tatum, almost the entire cast from the Fox X-Men universe, and apparently the rumor. Yeah,
if you've ever been connected to Marvel in any way, shape, or form, you're gonna be in this fucking movie. Other than
apparently they had a pretty good plot leak that was released. That was most of the Fox original cast from the original first 3 X-Men movie are going to be coming back. They are going to be placed in Deadpool ends up being placed in a House of M style universe where Magneto is kind of like the king, which is Sir Ian McKellen, which is a really cool idea. House of M is something we haven't seen, and that's why apparently Wanda plays such a huge story in this.
Dude, but if that's the case, then are they going to get? Was it Evan Peters or something like that? Or
well, that's the thing. They there's a bunch of stuff that they got to kind of like work with. There's a lot of things continuity.
Like if I'm gonna go serious for a minute, and like not give you shit, is like then I would hope that they would bring in Evan Peters, right? Because like out of like the Fox version of mutants to what we got in the MCU, Evan Peters version of Quicksilver was the most comic accurate.
Yeah, it was cool too. It was like the coolest one.
Yeah.
Like even if you break it down, like we just got done getting the Flash movie, and even the scene that they did in First Class, where Evan Peters' character, or what is it? Not what was it? First Class, where he does the run around the mansion. That's Days of Future Past.
That was Days of Future Past.
That was probably to me still one of the greatest speedster.
I really have to give
ever.
I really have to give it to the Eternals. I really liked her.
Yeah,
effects.
Makari shit.
Yeah.
Comparing the Flash to someone recently, Makari's special effects on the Flash, like comparing it to the way they did the CG for the Flash movie, like Makari killed it, man. Killed it in that movie.
Chef's kiss all around, dude.
But still to this day, like you said, Evan Peters is still probably one of the more looked for characters when it comes to Quicksilver, minus the dude that played him in Avengers: Age of Ultron, the brother of Wanda Maximoff. But that correlates really well with what we were talking about earlier, where apparently Wanda's supposed to play like a huge major factor in the Deadpool 3 movie. So apparently her character is going to be a part of this like coalition that brings the mutants upwards into the idea of them taking over the Earth, based on the group that Magneto
I heard it's gonna be like a House
of
M thing, dude.
Yes,
I think that's the angle they're going.
Really cool from what I've heard also is that the reason why it turns into House of M is because it's apparently after X-Men 3, the first trilogy, when Jean Grey kind of pops off as the Dark Phoenix and Magneto has that little group of dudes that are all like these like really really heavy hitting mutants and stuff that they apparently win, and those are the ones that take over the world, and everything pops off of that. So it's Wolverine taken out of that position where he doesn't kill her at the end.
Yeah.
So that's why it ends up being a success. So I mean, I think it's cool. I don't know how they're gonna do it with X-Men First Class. Like if they're gonna initiate any of those characters, that was a really cool cast of people too. The guy who of course played fucking Magneto and Charles Xavier in that movie were fucking fantastic. What's his name? Michael Fassbender as Magneto. He's a G, dude. He is such a good actor. And then of course the dude that plays yeah, don't forget X-23, man. Apparently X-23 is going to be in the film also, and the Old Man Wolverine. Like there's going to be I've heard so much crazy shit. So much crazy shit.
It sounds crazy. I mean, before you head out, Chris. So I have a question. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Yes.
Do you have one? Or actually, what's your favorite comic book movie? Let's go there. Because it doesn't have to. I don't want to limit you to Marvel. Do you have one, or you just?
I bounce around a lot of comic books, man. I mean, I really growing up, man. When my mom used to work, they used to have she would read a comic book every day. And the one that caught my eye was Captain America. Captain America or the Hulk.
Yeah,
the only two that really got me. Growing
what
up
was it about Captain? What was it about Cap?
I don't know, man. It's just to me, reading the actual reprint of the first book, him being a scrawny little guy, and then getting what they injected, and he becomes a superhuman, and
super soldier.
Yeah, it kind of in a way at the age of 7, 8 years old, I figured, man, eat my vitamins, do everything my mom says, and I could become a soldier just like Cap, and grew up.
And that's Cap.
Yeah,
that's Cap.
Be the little guy that stands up to the bigger guy to defend, the little dudes, or anybody else. That's I looked up to him. And then when the Hulk series came out, with Lou Ferrigno, Bill Bixby back in the 80s, I became a huge Hulk fan. I'm like, man, I hope I don't get that angry and start breaking shit in my house. But yeah, at a young age, those were like my favorite heroes. I mean, of course, you had your Batman, you had your Superman with Christopher Reeves, and all that great stuff. Adam West. But I mean, even when you were talking about the old Captain America on the TV series, where he had his eyes stretched out so back.
Stretched out.
When you said that was nostalgic for me. I'm like, oh my god, I do remember that. I even remember the old Spider-Man series. I remember also the what was the name of the other one? Greatest American Hero series they show on TV, and all these superheroes that would come on TV when I was young. I was like, wow, why don't they make movies for these guys? And that's when Superman came out, and I was like, holy shit! Yeah. And Christopher Reeves was like, wow, a man's flying on my screen. This is
What's your favorite Christopher Reeves Superman?
Superman 1.
Really?
Superman 1. That's the one it brought to light. I mean, Superman 2 was okay. 3,
Watch it.
Kind of got silly.
With
I got a little
Richard
silly.
Pryor, correct?
Richard Pryor. Yeah.
I love Richard Pryor, man. I love him to death. I love his comedy. He's a fucking genius, but it just didn't fit him, man. It did not fit in that movie. But it was. They were trying to do the Superman comic relief, but Superman 1 was one of my favorite. 2 was, well, I had to say it a close second. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Guys,
boys.
I'm gonna head out already. Yeah, because like my little boy is looking at me like, Dad, let's go play Halo.
There you go.
Let's go play Halo.
Sounds like a good night.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head out. Daddy duties. Yeah, right. But guys, keep doing what you're doing, man. You guys are great. I love the content. I can right now when you guys were talking, I was just sitting there like a little kid, like what I said in the other podcast. I mean, I could do this all night just watching you guys talk about Marvel, DC stuff. I don't know why nobody's tuning to you guys right now. I mean, if anybody's on there watching, keep watching these guys. These guys are fucking amazing.
Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but like I said, our show comes out every Thursdays at 7. Every other Thursday at 7:30 on Facebook Live, and it also downloads on YouTube and Spotify on Monday mornings. So,
hey, man, I'm totally down to be a guest, dude. 100%.
Yeah, I will reach out to you guys, and I want to get this guy right here. This guy right here.
Yeah,
man,
Brian.
I'll fly him down myself.
One day we're gonna bring Brian down again.
I'll
You watch,
come-
man.
I'll fly you into Harlingen or something like that.
Turn up. I gotta be a little PG here, but on your show, I might turn it up a little bit. Don't worry, man.
Bring the handy out.
On the next headroom box. Next time on the interview.
Oh yeah, I was telling him about that, man.
Hey man, dude, can I drink? Can I drink on your podcast? Like, is that cool? Yeah. All right, man. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
I got liquor and booze inside the fridge, so you got nothing to worry about.
Trust me, I probably have more than you do. I'm a liquor distributor, dude, and so I've got I've got it all.
Oh, guys, I appreciate you guys inviting me over.
Thanks.
I'm too bad you couldn't jump on. I hope next week you can try. Hopefully, the internet gods are on his favor this time around.
Yeah.
And he'll get a great more. He could really interact with all of you guys. For me, this is fun. Just listening to you guys is freaking awesome, man. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so much,
bro. Anytime you want to come on the show, you let us know, man. And thank you for always jumping in the comment section and hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, always, man. And like always, guys, laters, gators.
Laters. Appreciate you. Excellent. Boys, before we go, I got to ask, being that we're talking about Marvel, being that we're on that subject, last part of the show, guys, Secret Invasion, episode 3. I got to know what's up. I've voiced my opinion on the show. I've said it's kind of a little, it's a little slow pace for me.
Is it growing on you?
I'm trying my best to really do it. It's just,
so it's a chore.
It's 3 episodes in, and they're still shitting on Nick Fury. Like, again, they did it again. Actually, but this one was a little bit more creative. And I have to give it up to this one. And the reason why is because they were like...
a lot of people say that. I don't think there's... I think there's a reason why they're going this angle. And I don't know if it's necessarily shitting. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think that for the last 2 episodes, it's just been a lot of people like being like, well, you're like an absentee father, or you're a piece of shit and you're not good, or whatever. And this entire show, to me, this one was more of Talos's character being like... Well, we've kind of allowed you to accept your own hype, but you're not really that cool. Like, and it's just us. We knew that. We were just letting you get away with thinking you were cool. Like, now it's your turn to accept that you were just never cool to begin with. And this is a really, really big fundamental story to me in the story-wise part that they did to Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 5. Which is they made it to where instead of you understanding that there was an actual legend of this guy, that made him an actual fucking G as the super soldier he was, that there was a whole entire other dude that was the actual legend, and this guy just disappeared and just made some shit happen in the background that just didn't even matter.
I'm currently right in the middle of playing Metal Gear Solid 5 right now.
Well, I'm not gonna break it down for you anymore.
Thanks,
I mean, dude, it's been around for like fucking ever.
I know, dude.
Taken it this long? Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. But in the aspect of it, we know that V, which is Metal Gear Solid V and Big Boss, that's the whole thing. I'll let Trigger get to the ending of the story. I won't ruin it anymore. But in this story of Nick Fury, you end up finding out that all of the legend of Nick Fury has only been capable and possible because the Skrulls were there doing his shit behind the thing and all this stuff. But they've been doing a pretty shitty job because Hydra still took over and no one had that idea in the outset. So if they've been there since the beginning of time, since Nick Fury is there, Hydra would have never taken over, and they did. So again, continuity, when they don't watch the movies or they don't read the stories or whatever, they lose faith in this. And that was my biggest thing is the Skrulls were like, we've done everything for you in the past. We've made you this great thing and all this stuff. But in the process of Nick Fury being on the top of Hydra or being on the top of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra took over with these people not even knowing. So I guess the Skrulls are not that good at espionage. Boys?
Well, it's either that or I'd have to say that Hydra was just as good. Like we have two separate, like entities, like in that particular conversation, right? But what I really, really liked with this particular episode was that, like, we had a bit of a humbling with Nick Fury, and that's not a bad thing. Like we had Nick Fury get humbled, and it was kind of just like, dude, like, you keep thinking that you're a fucking G, and I like that. That's cool. But don't forget, you're a G because we fucking made you one. So don't get it fucking twisted. Like, your success was predicated on our success.
Okay.
I got
the ending of that.
I caught that. I'm gonna disagree. And I do think I have seen throughout the week, everybody shitting on that fact that they think that they're shitting on Nick Fury. But if you really think about it, was Nick Fury really that much of a G?
That's what I was saying. I was like, like my beginning of my conversation, sorry, of my statement was that there was a lot of humbling when it came to Nick Fury.
Yeah.
That like it was a lot of like, yeah, like you're great at what you do, but you're great at what you do because of what we provided you.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget that. Like you're thinking that you're the fucking jack of all trades. No, we've made you the jack of all trades. Don't forget what we've done for you either.
So that's not humbling. That's them telling him. That's taking the piss out of his mind.
Exactly. And so
it's not even that. It's for me personally. This is what I got from it. I got that you had two people that were having a heated argument. They were having a heated argument. Talos is done. Like he's had it with Nick Fury shit, and he was saying some spiteful shit. And do I necessarily agree with it 1000%? No, I don't think that I can accredit the scrolls for Nick Fury's 100% success with whatever he's done. But to say that it's shitting on him, all we've seen from Nick Fury since day one is him failing, dude. Like he's failed every step of the way. So with or without the scrolls, I don't think it's necessarily shitting on him because like I don't think that he's done, a hell of a he let Hydra infiltrate the fucking and his fucking program. So it's like he's not this untouchable guy that was put on this pedestal that now is kind of diminished because the scrolls are saying like, I've helped you do all this. I don't buy it personally.
But the espionage part of Nick Fury in the comic books is not for what he does as his actions, it's what he doesn't do. It's the other things that he has that are all prepped and ready to go in those situations. And it's like you said, like, well, all we saw was him fail to Hydra. All we saw was him get kicked out and then fake his death and then all this other stuff. The faking of the death was from Secret Invasion, the story, but they put it into the Hydra story, right? But at the end, when he goes up to that Price guy, right? And he goes up to the window and he fucking pulls his eye thing and they're like, you don't have clearance. And he goes, I always have clearance. And then he opens his other eye and he gets clearance. That's the legend of Nick Fury, is that no one one-ups him. He always has a backup plan. It's kind of like his way through and through the comics too. Like no matter what, Nick Fury's movements always have like 3 or 4 like accessible options. And that's what this show is kind of deteriorating to me. It's showing that he doesn't have options. He's just a dude that like it's almost like he speaks. It's almost like a satire of Shaft. If you break it down, like Shaft always has answers. Like anytime he says something, like it just pops. And he's always that one-liner superhero guy. And it's like now he says the one-liners and everyone looks at him like, dude, what the fuck? That's really old. You're weird. Like the old grandpa guy that says one-liners. Like that's what it kind of feels like. Like the entire, like I'm not shitting on the aspect of like what we got with the roadie scene in him. But like to have a character be put into the perspective like, hey, dude, you know what? Like this isn't your time to mouth off to me in that way. Nick Fury like was just I don't know, man. Like going back and watching it again because I saw it a second time. Like the dialogue was just so awkward. Like he didn't talk like a fucking secret agent guy. But I guess that's like the whole concept of
but you also got to remember, dude, he's been on Saber for fucking years now.
And honestly,
like he's been completely devoid of all
that.
That
doesn't make sense too, man.
No, because I don't.
But like,
I don't listen. I don't
let him cook, dude. Let him cook.
I don't want to spoil what I think is going on here. But I think all of that is relative. I think there's a reason for that. I think there's a reason why it seems so awkward. I think there's a reason why the dialogue is so awkward. I think there's a reason why. Sometimes he's wearing his glasses and sometimes he's not wearing his fucking glasses. I think all of this is relative. I think it's with 3 episodes left. I think that there's a reason for all that awkwardness, and that by the end of the show, he is going to be presented as the badass that we know him to be. This is all a play.
Okay, I mean, I'm still giving it hope. I'm still into the show, watching it. The reason why I feel a little bit awkward is because in the series, like I said, he's written differently. But at the ending of what is it, like Miss Marvel, when we saw him in Saber, or saw him at the ending of what was it, maybe Spider Man, or what was it? I can't remember when
Who
they showed
cares,
him
dude?
actually. Yeah. Well, he gets up, and when he gets up out of bed, like he's just like shoeless and on vacation, hanging out, like, hey, what's up, everybody, and all this stuff. And it's like that looks like a guy that's not suffering, man. That looks like a guy who's not working with his turmoil or whatever. It looks like a dude that's just like he is.
And you
away
don't
from
think that
everybody.
people wouldn't be bitter about that?
What do you mean? Well, I mean that's the concept. Like they're talking about okay, and I get that. That's the understandable part. If he like left everybody away, and it didn't show him relaxing and on vacation in a way, then I would be like, okay,
but it did. Yeah, but it did.
But that's not how they wrote it in the story. They wrote it as he was up there because he was in turmoil and scared and feared and backed into a corner.
But we have a canonical event showing that he was just fucking off, dude. This guy could have been beating his meat 3 times a day, for all we know, and he was A-okay when we saw him. So you don't think that like people may have been bitter about that?
Well, this is what they didn't know that. What all they know is that he was just up there. And he's like, but I dealt with shit. Like, and then they show him in this show undergoing some type of PTSD or some type of trauma or some type of thing that we never saw established in the canonical films that he was going through that. All we saw is that he was kicking it in space. I mean, even in the fucking Marvels trailer, he's cracking jokes with Monica Rambeau when Miss Marvel pops off in the series. Like, that's more Nick Fury writing in the regular movies than it is what they have him written here on the show. And that's all I'm saying. Like, it just feels really weird with the way and maybe Brian's right. Maybe there's gonna do like a fucking hat trick with his character in the last like two episodes. You end up finding out that he's like maybe a Skrull, or maybe he's playing the Skrulls out and he actually has like that one up on everybody. But I'm just saying, what if they don't?
Okay, like, but why play the what if game?
All right, no, but let's even play the what if, right? I don't think that's going to diminish what I like about this show. I like the acting, I like the writing, I like the production can be a little bit better. I think that the VFX could be a little bit better, but dude, I think the acting has been, this is probably for me been some of the best acting in any MCU property in a very long time.
Yeah, streaming shows
in a very long time, dude. So, and I would say even in movies, I wouldn't even just categorize it as in shows. I would say in MCU property, period, in a very long time. And for me, what do I always say, dude? I mean, I'm not gonna be a stickler for everything, but if you, I will give you that freedom and I will give you that leeway to get creative as long as you write and give me some good shit. Dude.
Give me something.
That's all I ask, man. If you can do that, I can forgive, whatever, because it is what it is. But as long as it's written correctly and you execute correctly, I'm a forgiving fan. So I like it. So it's not going to change anything for me.
So guys, real quick, rating of your episode and pros and cons of this episode for you. What was your most memorial part? And what was the part they could have done without?
I can go first. With my rating for the show, for this episode, it was probably the weakest episode of the 3 for me. I would probably give it like a 6, maybe a 7. And I guess my favorite part, I guess my favorite part was thinking that Gaia died, dude. Like, I mean, I was just sitting there with my mouth open, like, dude, these motherfuckers are just going for broke. Like, I don't think she's dead, by the way, but I just think like they're just going for shock value every fucking week. And I'm just sitting there like, there's no way they fucking did that. There's just no fucking way.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty crazy ending of the show too. Triggs?
I really have to agree with Brian, with the 6, 7. And I'm going to say a very, very soft 7, if that. My thing is, I'm starting to realize that what I'm looking for is very, very specific things. Each episode to me has to have one good conversation of just really, really good dialogue. that like captivates me and makes me invest further into the show. It's like finding the silver dollar in a fucking mountain of change and just doing it over and over and over again, right? You're finding that little quarter or something like that, just something to really, really like make you invest again. And like, I don't think a show should do that, but that's kind of just what I've been expecting of this show ever since the first episode. And, you know, the first episode didn't really have one. You know, the second episode had two. It had, you know, the conversation between Nick Fury and Maria Hill's mother, and then, you know, the conversation between him and Rhodey. No, to me it was Rhodey. Yeah, you know, that one was good, but for some reason, like, and I really, really have to say, man, it just did not have the gravitas to me. Yeah, like it just didn't carry it enough for me. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the dialogue, the wording, the diction, the dialogue. I don't know. It just didn't hit the way that I know that it should have.
Okay.
This episode, we had the Talos and Nick, you know, conversation where it's the humbling. It's like, hey, man, like you keep fucking saying that you're the guy with the plan and shit like that. Yeah, you're the guy with the plan until we come in. Yeah. Like we're the guy who makes your plan. We're the guy who fucking executes your plan. Like, so like you can have all the plans in the world, but unless you can execute them, they don't mean shit.
I think the conversation with him and his wife in the beginning was pretty good too. Like,
you know, I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think that was some really good dialogue as well. I don't think I'm just pulling at straws here. I think that there was something there. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it again because this is kind of one of those where like I was a little bit busy when I watched the show, and like I said, there was a couple jump out moments where I stopped what I was doing.
Yeah,
you know, like when I was watching this, I weirdly enough happened to actually be merchandising over at a Total Wine. So like I was doing stuff, and then when the Talos conversation came on, I like stopped and I was just like,
yeah,
you know, and I was just watching, you know, my phone and stuff like that, and just letting customers go by me. But that's like what I mean. Like I need something to grab out at me and pull me back into the show, because like I don't want it to be background noise.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna rewatch this episode again. If you say that there's something there in the very beginning with him and his wife, oh, I do remember. You know, it was like, oh, like what have you become? She was like, bitch, I became me. Like you were gone for 5 years, and then when you came back, I thought we'd rebuild, but then you left again. He was like, and then you left again. So like, fuck you, dude. And that's it. I agree.
Yeah,
I rescind what I said. There. Yes, yeah. I think
again, I think that was some good acting. I think that was good writing. I think they did a very good job.
There's a lot of gravitas in this show, and I think that's really, really being overlooked. Is the gravitas of the dialogue? I think is really, really being overshadowed by poor VFX, by like a very upheaval kind of story and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think if you just slow it down and start looking at things in pieces instead of a whole, I think like there's a lot more enjoyable moments out of this show than people are giving it credit for.
Yeah, and yes, Vince, I do think that was him on the phone. But no, it is. It wasn't. On the phone. It's not. I don't think it is him on the phone. You can recognize his voice. That was one because you can hear it. If you watch it again, you can hear it's him. Yeah, it's definitely Don Cheadle.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I give it like a soft 7, low 7.
Yo, that's weird to me. How are you gonna give it the same? Like we actually like it, but you don't like it and you give it a 7. This guy Vince said it was a 3.
Because I don't look at it. Yeah, I'm not that hard, man. I know what it takes to make these shows happen.
Yeah,
I'm not just taking into consideration that it's not a show.
Yeah,
they are trying their best to give us something, but it's hard what you got because of the fact on where they are in the Marvel landscape, on how they've done with the stories, and now they're trying to like make this up as they go.
Yeah.
So like I know it's gonna be hard.
And even with that, man, you really have to give them credit, you know, for making something.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
You know, like it's, you know, and I know that you may not be the biggest fan, and I don't blame you, right? Because Secret Invasion is a super important, you know, like story arc in the Marvel landscape. to say that it's not is either stupid or ignorant. You know, like you have to admit.
I sit on my fucking,
you know, and I get it, dude. It's a hill you're gonna, I get it, dude. It's a hill that you should die on. I don't blame you. You know, but like at the same time, like
the fact that these guys. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was like, but the fact that these guys are making something very, very original out of the premise, you know, it isn't a bad thing, and that's why I want to give it a chance. You know, it's something original.
I'm letting
and it's not as bad as we'd like it to be, because there are a lot of comic book nerds who want this to fail.
Yeah, I don't want it to fail. I want it to be good because, like I've said before a million times, like, what a time to be alive as a comic book fan. The problem is like, I've allowed these guys to make their bed and now they got to sleep in it from what they've done. And now they're in this situation where they're having to almost recreate these stories that they're starting to realize are hard to write. And they're starting to realize why, in my opinion, why comic books are so special, because they've already figured out a lot of this shit. A lot of the people that were back in the day writing these stories really, really took into consideration all the little nicks and crannies. This story, I can say it's like a 7 because it's not a 9. It's not something that's good. It's something manageable that anybody can really watch and be behind and just check out. And kind of like you said, like if it was a 9, you wouldn't have been focusing on something else while you were just letting it play on the background. So in your own way, you've kind of told me like, hey, well, you know what? Like this show's like, I'm just going to let it play in the background as I do something else that I think is more important. You're not going to
this particular episode. I'm not going to lie, dude. Like episode two had me. Like I rewatched it twice, like easily.
1 and 2 are bangers. And this is one other thing I was thinking about, the because I've been seeing a lot of just people shitting on this show, and saying, you know, it's nothing like Secret Invasion.
Yeah, there's no way they're gonna get that. We know that.
But just to keep in mind, just there's a lot of things that go into why they can't do the direct adaptation, but they don't have a lot of time for this shit, bro. These actors that they
don't got a lot of assets. They don't got a lot of assets either.
These actors that they have, they don't have them for long, man. Like they have them for 10 years. They got to get to it.
Yeah.
If they're gonna tell these stories, if they're gonna get to some of these storylines that people know and people love and people want to get to, they're gonna have to get to it like quickly. And
dude, Don Shield is in his mid-50s.
Yeah, dude. Like how much longer?
Even with that, to understand on the fact that they cannot pull off Secret Wars, they're about to try to introduce the Super Skrulls that get their powers from the Fantastic Four,
who aren't
and they don't even have them in the series, so they're having to like pick and grab from the characters that they got. They have like a
frost giant, the Call Obsidian, Groot, a frost giant dog, and Extremis.
And Extremis, which is going to be the Human Torch. Like the powers are kind of there, but they're having to kind of like side rig them to get them to work properly for the Super Skrull to be here. Does that make sense? Like it's kind of like, all right, cool. Like we only have this kind of stuff. Make it happen. Like this is all you can fuck with. Like and it's like, geez, what do I do? Like
but like, all right, so then what? Do you want to wait for Secret Invasion until they finally fuck around and come out with the Fantastic?
No, you really can't. You can't because you're.
Yeah, and you also got to remember, dude. Like some of these stories were 30 years in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they couldn't do it because they're chronologically past that in the opportunities for them to be even to be able to establish it, because they're already far past that into the universe of the Marvel landscape. They have to shoehorn it in as fast as they can for it to work and just throw it in there. So, you know, it is what it is, and this is what we're getting. And in that process, the only thing that I felt myself personally gravitas-wise that I feel like there was a lot of emotional content to the character was when Talos's character in the fucking second episode, when they go after the guy who makes the bomb and he tells Nick Fury not to intervene, and then Nick Fury shoots him. Yeah. And he's there on the ground and he's like, I told you not to. You can tell deep in Talos's heart, like I felt like from the character, he doesn't want people to die meaninglessly anymore. He's trying to save as many as he can, which then you have the new character, I forgot his name off the top of my head. What's the dude's name? The bad guy? Travic. Right? Travic's character is like Gravik. Okay, Gravik. This character, he is like like an extreme terrorist kind of guy. Like he has that.
How are you so bad at
like,
names, dude? like what's Bobby's name,
names.
dude? Booby.
But listen,
you guys got to remember, I go through a million names.
If you even if you didn't get that in, even if you didn't feel that
gravitas.
feeling that gravitas in the second episode or first episode that you're talking about, you definitely got it in the sit down talk in this episode. That was another great dialogue between Gravik and Talos.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was good to be able to see them sit down and talk, because you got the major villain and then the other person, which we had seen in the trailer a lot when they introduced both characters, right? That was like something where I was like, dude, how's that going to pop off? Like, how does this make sense? How is Talos in front of this dude? And
you didn't like that? You didn't like that scene?
I thought it was good. No, I didn't have anything against it. I thought it was pretty good. It was cool to see the dynamics between both of those types of scrolls, where it was like the Talos scroll, who in the comic book is Gravik's part. In the comic book, it's complete different. Like Talos is the guy who starts that war with the Skrull Empress, right, in the Secret Invasion. So to see Talos as a whole new character, that he's like a freedom fighter that's about saving his community, and then you see Gravik, which is this like extreme variation of him that's like willing to do or die.
Dude, that's really all Skrulls. Like all Skrulls are kind of like fuck Earth. We're here for it.
Yeah,
we're here for it.
Yeah, that's kind of
this is our planet now.
This is a very interesting take on it, because this was where people had the problem with Captain Marvel and the Skrulls, is that the Skrulls were always a race that hated humanity. And then when we got it in Captain Marvel, they brought them in and they were like the immigrants thing. They were people that wanted just safety and they wanted to be saved, and they didn't have a reason to do Secret Invasion. You know what I mean? Now they've given us I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good solid purpose on how we got this going on. It's just right now I don't feel it, man. I don't feel it yet. We're 3 episodes in. This was where I was kind of scared of, where they were going to let it cook for too long. I like the interaction that we had with Talos and Fury at the ending of the previous episode, and then it dragged on deeper into this episode, where there's still like long-winded arguments on them taking pop shops at each other. But then Nick Fury's talk back is never like, there's no emotion to it. Talos talks really like, you know, he's very passionate about, he puts his emotion into when he talks to Nick Fury, and then Nick Fury is like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, like, let's go, we got a mission to do. Like, there's like something about him that he's very dry. I don't know if you guys get that vibe from him. So like when Talos is there, Talos is bleeding his fucking heart out.
No, I do think that there's I think there's a reason for that. I don't think that's the Nick Fury. I think they're
I know where you're going. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to finally agree. Yeah. Like I kind of felt it a little bit with episode 1.
The Nick Fury that we get sometimes in this show is not the Nick Fury. And I get that they're trying to like kind of hide it because of the blip and it changed him, but I don't think that's what it is, dude. Because there's certain times where he is still the badass Nick Fury, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's just other times where he's not.
Even when I'm out, I'm in.
That's the Nick Fury that I like. That's the Nick Fury that you've been showing me for the past 12, 13 years. And then there's other ones where he gets fired and then he goes and sits on the bench and it looks like he's crying or some shit like that. So it's just like, it's just weird.
Yeah. Okay. So the last question that I'm going to ask, I like that theory. I like that concept that there might be 2 Furies, and you're getting scenes where there's literally 2 variations, where one of them is Nick Fury on his mission going after Gravik, and then maybe there's like a Skrull or someone that's out there playing Nick Fury, hanging out in the back, kind of living his life and doing his thing, kind of like trying to learn his secrets or whatever, right? Do you think that the team behind this right now, after 3 episodes, do you think they have the knowledge and style to write that into the story? Like, do you really believe that? Do you think that's like a possibility? Like, do you think they have the know-how to write that into this story? Because where you guys are coming up with that, I love that idea. If that ends up being a thing, fuck, that's awesome. But I don't think this team writes that. I think it's literally all just Nick Fury, and they just don't know how to write him right.
I don't think that. I think that there, and this is spoilers if I'm right, I do think that there is what was Gravik, Talos's wife? Apparently she's dead, but we didn't see that.
Yeah, apparently that happens off screen.
Where the fuck is she?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I tell you that happened off screen.
Where is she? She just died of nowhere, right?
No, Gravik. Gravik is the one who killed her.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Right? But we didn't see that. We just heard about it, right?
Yeah.
So your theory, and I'm just gonna say this out loud because this sounds great, is that the wife went into hiding, and she's the one that's doing the Nick Fury stuff behind the scenes. And she's gonna be like the savior of.
It's a good theory. That's a good theory, man. I fuck with it.
That's like holy fuck, dude.
The first
if
time
that happens, dude.
The first time.
Brian, I'm gonna vouch for you to be a writer, dude. I'm not even fucking kidding.
Listen, no, and I thought this since the beginning because it was fucking weird when I saw it, bro. The first time that Nick Fury interacts with Talos, what does he do? He puts his head to Talos
on his forehead.
On his forehead. Why the fuck would Nick Fury do that?
I'm really gonna have to think that like he knows their customs. He's been around them for a very long time.
Yeah,
dude. Shake my hand, bro.
Don't touch my forehead, bro. Don't touch my forehead, bro. Don't touch my forehead, bro.
We're on Earth, bro. Shake my hand, yo. We're on Earth. We're not.
And the reason why is because even in the past flashback, he does it to introduce himself to the other Skrulls also. So that's kind of like they're establishing.
I could be wrong. But I think if they were gonna write that, that would be the way to do it, dude.
Brian, that is. I'm gonna give you you deserve some props for that. That is like, right? If they pulled that off in like episode 4 or 5, where they were like the fucking Gravik is holding fucking Nick Fury at gunpoint, and then all of a sudden another Nick Fury comes in the room and points the gun at him, and they're like, Gravik is like, who the fuck are you? And then it's the wife. Bro, you got me eating gummy bears with tweezers, bro. I'm not even fucking, I feel so sophisticated. That's wild as fuck, dude. I love it. Guys, what do you think of that theory? Our boy Brian pulls out another prophecy out of nowhere. Man, you're on a roll, dude. You've been on it for the last several movies. Been hitting it pretty solid, man. I love it. Guys, I want to say thank you. What's up? Were you gonna say what? I thought you said something. I can't hear you too well.
We'll see.
Yeah. Guys, I have to say, I want to thank you guys all for tuning in and jumping up with this show. Today was such a great episode. I know we started off a little clumsy. I got to apologize. My computer's still doing some weird shit in the background. Hopefully I can get it running again. I apologize myself. Shout outs to Chewy and Ooh. Both of them came in clutch, especially Ooh, saving the day. I appreciate you so much, brother, man. That was so cool to have you on the show, and it was so fun. Chewy, I know that we had some technical difficulties. If you're out there listening, next week, let's do it again. Let's fucking run it back. Let's get this shit. You're a smart dude when it comes to comic books, and I love to have you on. What a great opportunity to have them on the show, and it was so cool. To all our extraordinary listeners. We even had Efren Molina. Efren runs a show too called the F and Sunny Show, and he runs a really, really good podcast too. So really getting a lot of love from the local podcast scene down here in the Valley. I appreciate every one of you. Same thing with the Comic Menu. Those guys, I have a show too that they do on Wednesdays. We appreciate every one of you. To all of our extraordinary listeners that were in the comment section today, I got to give it up, man. You guys tore my shit up earlier with my rinky dinky all set up and all that shit. But thank you guys for sticking it through with us.
Man, they got you.
Fucking calling me a chipmunk. Yeah, they fucked me up, man. But I got to say thank you guys for running it with us and all the way to the very end. We appreciate every one of you. To our extraordinary listeners, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to take care of each other. We hope you had a great 4th of July. Don't forget to tune in with us every Friday night here on the Average Boys Podcast at 9 p.m. Guys, if you can, like, share, subscribe, put it out there. We're trying to get the show to get a little bit more pop off. We have, if you're a gamer type of person and you have a Discord, don't forget the Average Boys Podcast does have a Discord. Also, hit us up in the comments if you guys are into that stuff. It's really fun. We're in there all the time, kind of just catching off, popping off, talking about stuff that's coming up. We're keeping up with each other, talking nerd stuff. Yeah, man. I was really, really happy with today's show. Today's show went really good. And now I know StreamYard can run on my iPad. How fucking cool is that? I didn't know. And the camera's not too bad either, man. Camera's not bad at all for my iPad. So... guys, like I said, thank you so much. We appreciate every one of you. To all of our extraordinary listeners, we love you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys again here next Friday here on the Average Boys Podcast.